And I think we did it. Yeah.
Sweet.
We're on the internet. Go team.
I can't find the card I was looking for that ends the game or loses the game for someone who tries to take an extra turn. I do remember seeing it long ago, but it might have been like a proxy or something because I wasn't as good at spotting those back in the day. But Ugin's Nexus is a colorless artifact. If someone would take an extra turn, they skip it.
I have seen that one. I like that.
I'm gonna restart real fast, boys.
Copy that.
Back in a flash.
We'll be here.
It's 5 mana, but considering how broken extra turns are,
Do you remember what color it was?
Ugin, or the card I was trying to think of?
Yeah.
Oh, I just looked up the wording that I know it had, and I couldn't find it at all, so.
And we're talking
the
about
only-
the one that you said will have someone lose the game, right?
Yeah. So I have to imagine that might have just been a fake card that someone made because they were salty.
Yeah.
But there's Ugin's Nexus or Stranglehold. They both work really well. Stranglehold in red, though.
I ordered a new headset. That's gonna be fun.
You said you got a new headset? Ordered at least?
Yeah, I'll have to try it out.
Neat.
But Ugin's Nexus lets you skip someone else's extra turn. And if they try and get rid of it, or if they try and put it in the graveyard, then instead it gets exiled and you take an extra turn after this one.
Yeah, it's a good card.
So if they try and remove it, you get an extra turn.
Yeah, I picked up the HyperX Cloud Alpha S.
HyperX is good. They make some nice stuff.
Um,
You'll have
the
to let
thing
me
I'm
know what you
looking at
think.
is a full aluminum frame because I keep fucking breaking my headsets.
Yo, the reason I bought a headset for myself for my job is because they gave me 3 over the course of a month and a half, and I broke all of them. And I started to feel like an asshole, so I turned around and just bought like a big bulky gaming one with like metal brackets all over the side, so I figured I couldn't rip the ear cup off of it by accident.
Yeah, my one at work is, luckily we're not in the office now, so I get to use whatever one I want at home, but the one at the office, it's developing cracks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, HyperX is supposed to be pretty good. I have the Mastrop and Sennheiser one, the PC37X. And right now I'm using my fancy Bose headphones because they plug into the mic and let me like listen to my own voice through it to make sure I'm not being too noisy.
Gotcha.
But no, let me know what you think once you get them. I've heard good things. I don't know exactly which model you're looking at, but you know, if the internet's to be believed, HyperX makes some really good gaming peripherals.
Yeah, we'll do. There was another one that I was looking at, but it was back ordered till like February or March, so I was like, let me see what else they got.
That's where I am now, dude. So I saw apparently Nvidia put out something. They are now estimating that the RTX 3080 and other cards are not going to be relieved from their supply chain issues until May. And they have postponed the launch of the RTX 3080 Ti indefinitely. Supposedly AMD and their graphics card families are suffering from the exact same issues, because the problem isn't with any one fab, it's that it's basically impossible to get silicon wafers right now. So the process that actually goes into manufacturing the little tiny GPU dies that are the heart of any graphics card, it's borderline impossible to do right now.
Gotcha.
So it's not just Samsung,
Yeah,
it's not just TSMC, it's like a foundational part that both of those fabs need. They just can't get them.
That would even run into trouble with like the science industries and like physics.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why like the Ryzen 5000 series processors are out too. It's like if it uses a processor and it's in a computer, it's probably made from a silicon wafer, and those things are hard to get.
Yeah.
So it just sucks.
I actually switched up my. I got a planned build that I want to do soon-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I actually switched up the graphics card I want to do because I think I'm going to go with an RTX 6800 XT, because it's comparable for to a higher end for less.
I have been looking at that one, and there's two reasons that I'm not going for it, and these are probably, at least one of them is specific to me. I have a G-Sync monitor.
Gotcha.
AMD cards can work with it, but you get the full feature set out of NVIDIA cards. There's just a couple little knickknacks that you get out of it that you don't from AMD, so I kind of want to stay in the family if I can. And I'm very interested to check out ray tracing performance, and apparently AMD cards take an absolutely behemoth hit when running ray tracing right now, whereas the second gen RT cores and the NVIDIA cards, it's not good, but it's a hell of a lot better. So
I'm not super worried about the ray tracing, but the monitor I'm looking at happens to have AMD FreeSync.
Yeah. So the ray tracing thing, my thought is I typically upgrade my graphics cards every other generation. So if I get this, it's probably going to be about 4 years or a little more before I get to upgrade. So if ray tracing is going to continue to kind of appear in more titles, I'd like to have it as a feature that I can count on working a little bit. And that coupled with DLSS should actually be pretty all right. But the AMD cards, honestly, the amount of muscle you get for the price, especially when you look at like rasterized lighting, is very impressive. You know what I mean? I think the 6800 XT, depending on the title, will beat the RTX 3080, and it's less expensive by like $50 or something like that, $100. It's a good deal. If G-Sync specifically and is not important to you, and if ray tracing is kind of a sideline feature, then there's no reason not to consider them.
So I posted in the chat there the one that I picked up and the one I was looking at that's back ordered.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know how it turns out.
Definitely, yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. You just don't want to wait until May. Like, I'm actually mulling over. Supposedly, with Mr. Biden going into the White House sometime this week, there's hints that he's going to try and push through a new stimulus package that would include an additional $1,400 in direct payments to of bring it up to $2,000. I am very tempted to take that and just backflip into a graphics card off like Facebook Marketplace and just
that's exactly what the fucking stimulus is for.
Like, suck it up and pay some scalper that totally does not deserve it the premium they're asking for, just so I don't have to wait. Like,
yeah, that checks out.
If it was my hard-earned money, the answer is no. But if it's like, here, it's free, then I might be like, well, I wasn't going to have the money anyway. So
I'm hoping that the next stimulus hits at least like partway through tax season, because I want it.
Yeah.
I have to get my taxes fixed to get it.
Well, when it hits won't matter. It will. All right. So here's the thing. It will matter a little bit. So the way it's, as I understand it, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this one, and I was just talking with Tom about this the other day. They are applied as a tax credit to your 2020 tax bill, or at least the ones that were paid in 2020 were. What that means is, if when you filed your 2019 taxes, you were ineligible, they basically treated it as though you wouldn't be paid it and you didn't receive the payments when they went out initially. But when you file your taxes in 2021, if your eligibility for 2020 retroactively qualifies you for the payments, they will be included in your tax return. And you should, in theory, either get that money back or have it applied to any amount you may owe for your taxes at that time. So,
I mean, I never make enough money to ever not get all of my taxes back.
The only time you wouldn't get it back is if you were claimed as a dependent. Because I believe if you are a dependent and if your parents claim you again this year, you're not eligible to collect it at all. So it all depends on how everyone files, but it'll be interesting. Also, it looks like Tom's back. Welcome back.
Filing as an independent this year because I'm not dealing with that BS again.
That's fair. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Obviously, it's not tax advice. Don't take tax advice from my Twitch gaming channel, please. But
no, I've got a guy for that.
As I've interpreted it based on what I've seen, I think that's how it's supposed to work. So you should be able to get it after the fact, as long as you file independently for 2020 when you file your taxes in a little bit.
Which would be neat.
So, yep, and it should. And then keep in mind, I believe any payments that would be paid out in 2021 would be for credit for that tax year. So if something happens and your parents, let's say they file their taxes before you and they preempt you and claim you as a dependent.
They never file their taxes.
Let's pretend they do. Then you won't get any of the payments due in 2020, but you may be able to retroactively collect 2021 payments in the same fashion. So it might turn into kind of a waiting game for you, but it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out.
So, wait, your parents just don't pay taxes?
They pay the taxes, they just rarely file. Because my dad's horrible with paperwork and my mom wants to file, but
Gotcha.
Well, my dad's the guy that gets angry every year when he has to file taxes. Like, he hates it because it's a huge amount of work and he never has enough time to get it done. But he literally has the paperwork sitting on his desk by the end of January and then doesn't pick it up until like April 13th and then bitches that there's not enough time to do it. And it's like he has months to work on it and either doesn't have time or says he doesn't have time. I don't know what the full story is there, but it's something.
You good, Tom?
You will see here in a second.
There you go. Now we can hear you.
But right now I'm adding lands to a deck, so hang
Neat. In other news, over the weekend, I sat down and redid a lot of the layouts that I have for OBS for streaming. Tried to make it cleaner, take advantage of like the new camera that I picked up and some other stuff. I added some scene transitions and whatnot. So we'll see how it goes, but I think asterisk that it's better than before.
It's save. Did my deck save? Yes. All right. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Neat. Who would like to create the lobby?
I usually take that duty. And their open play.
Eat myself.
I guess I will play my Palladia deck first. The boys are back in town, and the lobby is
Go out
open.
and play.
I'm gonna be playing my Hazezon Tamar
Do it.
deck.
You're what?
Hazezon Tamar.
Commander is Hazezon Tamar. It was sponsored by Ravager.
I had heard about that.
Hold up. Let me do some recon. What the heck is this thing called?
It is Hazezon Tamar.
I thought it was Hazezon. He makes sand warriors.
He does. It's a very potent deck, but it's kind of slow.
The card is $100 by itself in paper.
How do you spell the name?
Hazezon. Tamar.
Gotcha. I'm just... Oh, it's an old one.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
why it's so
Oh, yeah.
expensive in paper.
Interesting. So let me, we're just going to bring this over here to share with the people who may be watching. Yes, I agree. So, oh man, 7 mana. When he enters the battlefield, create X1 when Sand Warrior creature. Is that the guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
Sand
2
Warrior.
pennies on Magic Online.
Neat.
All right.
He's
Y'all good for
probably
me to join
really
the lobby?
expensive because he's super old. And yes, Pat, you're good to enter whenever. Yeah, when he enters the
Yeah, he's
battlefield.
never had a reprint ever.
That would make sense. I think that would nicely explain why he's expensive as heck.
Yep. I lost
The only
the die roll.
struggle I have
Tragic.
sometimes is this deck needs a fair amount of land, and Magic Online does not like to allow for that.
That's
That's
Jared Carthalion. We're in danger.
So what's that guy do?
He's
Jared,
strong.
Jared does some shenanigans.
Target opponent becomes the monarch. Okay. You can't become the monarch this turn, so you can't just yoink it from them. Alright. If damage be done. Oh, I've fought him before. I remember that.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Do I have enough lands to cast anything? No-ish? Kinda?
That's alright. My opening hand has an Aurelia the War Leader in it, so you know what kind of fun we're up to.
I'm gonna keep this hand, and I'm gonna bank on the idea that I'm gonna draw at least one more land.
That'd be nice.
That checks out.
We've got
We're running 3
Palladia-Mors.
Naya decks and a Grixis deck. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, anytime Evan's playing Nicol Bolas, it's
He's new. It's gonna be fun.
sends a shiver down my spine just because of the kind of character he is in the lore.
That's why I like him. I know he's a bad guy, but he's, like, if you've read any of the stories, he's a very calculating SOB, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, that checks out. It's funny because we have Nicol, Bolas, and his sister.
I am playing Palladia-Mors' big sister.
You know, I saw her as a commander, and I was like, oh, interesting. I'm going to build something around that. And then I was like, I can't think of anything interesting to build.
I have done
For that.
literally the same.
Like, I was like, what do I do? Just stack it up with a bunch of crap while it has hexproof and hope that I can just one-shot blow someone under the water and, like, then she's vulnerable to removal again? Like, I don't know what the play is there, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
You know, the only thing that bothers me about my commander is if you wore that kind of cape in the desert, you would die of heat stroke.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. You don't know what that cape's made out of.
I don't think it would matter. It's trapping extra air inside, and you don't want to wear insulated clothes in the desert.
Yeah. But look at that art. The sun is going down. He's trying to stay warm. You know how cold the desert gets at night? See, I've already proven your theory false. You might as well concede. Politics, boys.
It's
Take
not clear
notes.
if the sun's going down or up. It's definitely on the horizon.
All I know is it's golden hour, and he looks beautiful.
It's true.
You do be out here looking pretty juicy.
Yeah, so this deck of mine is kind of an unknown quantity. I looked around at a couple different, like, Bolas tribal decks on things like Tapped Out, got kind of the gist of what people were doing, and basically just stuffed it full of every card that references Bolas that I could.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, neat, it's Bolas tribal now, let's do it. So, bear with me. It's in Grixis, but it's not built with my usual level of, unkindness.
Yeah. I literally, like, yesterday I'm sitting and I'm like, I need to build at least one new deck for tomorrow. I was like, cool, MTG unofficial, what you got for me? Random card.
Yep.
Palladia-Mors the Ruiner. Bet. I'm gonna come up with something around this. And I don't want to give anything away, but it's doing a lot of good stuff.
I mean, there's a few different ways you could build that commander. I would probably build it as a Voltron deck, just because Pat has spoiled me.
I mean, she's kind of got built-in support for that because she's got hexproof until she deals damage, so you can kind of keep her in a relatively safe space and just pile crap up on her. And then swing once she's big enough to just not mess around.
And they can't do anything about it because it's already too late.
Yep.
You've touched
Personally,
down.
I'd go for anthems, but
Oh no. We were out here taking notes. That's all I'm gonna say. We were definitely out here taking notes. This definitely feels way more like what we brewed in paper, though. I'll say that. So this feels like more of our playgroups, like paper brews.
Okay.
Well, part of the thing is our playgroup has just developed a lot, and so we brew differently now. Because we've been playing online for like a year now.
Yeah, and playing online comes with, like, just the card pool is different. Like, things that are pretty accessible in paper might be really expensive online for what would seem to be no particular reason other than lack of reprints in a digital format. But then there's other stuff that's, like, ridiculously cheap, like Jim's Commander that would be, like, very expensive in paper is, like, 2 cents for no reason.
It was printed once a long time ago, so to get it in even reasonably good condition, difficult.
Yep.
Yeah, but they release like vintage cube packs and stuff like that online all the time.
Should explain why it's been printed, you know, a dozen times. Just making it very accessible. It's nice, I'm not complaining, it's just the card pool alone is going to force us to build differently. Like, I remember when we realized, like, Soul Ring was like, what was it, 15 bucks?
Yeah, it's kind of expensive online.
Yeah.
I mean, Soul Ring's an amazing card.
It's a good card, but it's one of those things that did not get a lot of reprints, whereas in paper it comes out, like, every year a Commander deck comes out, there's a bunch of Soul Rings put into circulation.
it's funny you say it's a good card because, like, I have so many brews I've put together. It's like I don't even want to slot it in. I've got stuff that I'd rather use. Like, I'd 100% rather use land ramp than a soul ring right now.
Mhm.
For me, it depends
Agreed.
on the type of deck I'm running.
And there's so much ramp in like the 2-mana spot that there's really nothing holding you back.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, listen, turn 1 Soul Ring is excellent and feels great. But like, take Borderland Explorer or Sakura Tribuilder. You know?
Yeah.
Both of those are a creature and ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna do this.
Seems good.
I think Steve is slightly better just because it enters the battlefield, but
Yeah, absolutely.
This.
I've got a new follow from Mapuka. Thank you for the follow. It's exciting times here playing Commander with decks that I don't know what to expect. The only one that I know is going to be a problem is Jared.
Yeah, Jared Carthalion is going to be a problem.
Not throwing shade at anyone else or their deck building powers, but I've seen that become an issue. The other ones are kind of an unknown quantity, my own included.
I'm gonna be real with you. The last time we played, I got an extremely good starting hand. I got a mediocre one this time.
You're good.
So we'll see how it kind of evens out.
I try to be conscientious of that. I try not to like overreact. So I'm not going to be like oppressive to you in any meaningful way unless it starts to get out of hand again. But
no, I know this deck is strong if it gets going, and I'm hoping. This is all of like my second game with it, so I'm hoping to see with a more mediocre hand than what I did last time. Can I get decent results?
It does kind of
for the viewers, what I did was dumb. I definitely should have waited to sack Sakura Tribuilder until Pat's end step here, Man Mountain 75. That was a misplay.
Yes,
I'll call myself out for it.
He says he knows Patrick's brews and totally understands. Yeah, it's one of those things where I've seen them get like ridiculous hands.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, who is it?
That's my brother.
Hi, the brother.
I bet.
You know, we've actually met Matthew? Probably?
Yes.
Yes.
that would be Pat's only brother.
I am terrible with names, but I remembered we were joking about how he's like Matt Pat from YouTube because it's Matt and Pat, and I don't know why, but that stuck with me, so that's fine.
Well, that checks out.
That's my whole turn right there.
What did you play? Obelisk of
Oh, I
Horses.
love the obelisks, man.
Oh.
I wish
love
they
that.
were like
I
one
love the
left,
art.
Yeah,
but I love them.
I wish they were
Those are
like,
really easy to get online.
I wish it was a 2-drop. Honestly, if
Yeah,
it was a
exactly.
2-drop, I'd be in a
I-
little bit better of a spot, but it's fine.
I also wish it was a 2-drop, because that would have been...
I mean, if they were a 2-drop, they would be instant plays in all commander decks running 3 colors or more.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense from like a power curve perspective, but it doesn't make it
Yeah.
not a bummer that I had to wait until turn 3 to play it.
Commander's Quarters, shout out to Mitch, has been spoiling me with his theory of trying to get at least half of what you put into it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
That's
those
generally the
3-drop
rule
mana
of thumb.
rocks, it's like, ugh, but I don't wanna.
Yeah.
If it's a 3-drop mana rock, it better have enough value that it's still worth doing.
Well, let's put it this way. I had 2 lands and that obelisk in my opening hand, drew a 3rd, and now I have enough mana to cast my commander if I need to. So like it provided value that was very necessary for me.
Well, that's one of 3 colors, so that helps a lot too.
Yeah.
And in some situations, that's enough value to warrant it.
See, the big thing is, I know that if I cast my commander next turn, it's going to make people mad because when he enters, each opponent has to discard a card. So, like...
I've kind of been planning on it. So
Yeah,
I'm not that worried about it.
That's the big thing that, like, I'm excited to play him, but, like, I recognize that that's going to leave a few people feeling some kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not optimal, but I do have Sylvan Library out. I can draw the extra cards if I need
That's
to.
true. That's true.
I don't have a Sylvan library in this deck, so yeah, I mean, do your thing.
It's green. What are you doing?
Yeah, I gotta say.
I try not to run the same cards in all of my decks that share a color.
That's fair. But there's certain really high value cards that are hard to. You need a good reason to leave them out.
Actually, need to take a look. I don't remember. Yeah, no, I did not put Cyclonic Rift in this deck. There's a
This
couple.
card just got a reprint, by the way, Pat. 3 visits.
Yeah, that's why I put it in, because I was like, I forget if I pulled one. I think I did, but the reason Sylvan Library is in here is because eventually I am going to make Jared in paper,
Mhm.
and I just got a Sylvan Library from the Commander pack, whatever the heck it was. So
Gotcha.
So I knew I would have one to put in. So
Yeah, that is something I'm kind of missing, not being in green this time after playing Kineos and Tiro as much as I had, is I'm not seeing like any ramp. I don't have a Sylvan Library. I'm not drawing extra cards because I was playing things like Howling Mine and stuff. Like, I miss it.
You have blue, so you don't strictly need a Sylvan Library. That's one of the situations where I might not include it.
Yeah, but I don't have any. I can confirm I don't really have anything in here that's going to replace that functionality, and I'm a little jealous.
That's fair. There are better effects for draw in blue, though.
Oh yeah, well that's kind of blue's whole shtick, is that it can really fool around in the library as it needs to, draw cards and all.
Ooh, Annex, my old friend.
Neat. I liked the demigods.
I thought
Yeah,
they
I'm
were
a big
pretty
fan of
playable.
them.
I like them both from a gameplay perspective, but also from like a flavor perspective. I think they're just neat, you know?
the flavor is awesome. I wish they were a tad bit stronger, but
Yeah.
the flavor is awesome.
I mean, it varies. Some of them are really like Daxos is amazing.
I think Annex is very good at what he does. Like, he's going to generate you value when your opponents are destroying your creatures, which is cool.
Oh god, now I can never skip through turns. I'm an idiot.
You
I have a
played
0
yourself.
cost ability.
Mhm.
Well, you can still press 6 and skip through.
Let me think here. Everyone's got a creature but me, and there's more spells that I want to cast that are going to be helpful, but like I don't think I can afford to wait.
Probably for the best.
I mean, nobody has anything huge at the moment.
I mean,
Well, okay. Annex is the 3/4 that I'm willing to bet will get pumped more, but
I'm going to delay by a turn and hope for the best.
Well, because of how Annex works, every time Tom pays a red spell or a red permanent, he's gonna get pumped. And I think that's the best thing about the demigods.
Yeah. Ooh, I forgot to turn on a thing. Hang on. We've got... Which voice chat are we in? The Atraxa one? There we are. I have a thing in OBS that I set up that I sort of a little bit forgot to put in place. But it's here now, and it works.
hey, does anyone want to let me through on not my next turn, but the turn after, just to get the Monarch?
I mean, I would say
I will
yes for
give you the
now,
Monarch. For your
but
next
last time that backfired on me.
Let me ask you this. How hard would I get hit in the face if I say yes to this? Am I going to say yeah and then take like
I'll
12?
throw the Outrider at you.
I'd be willing to take it. I'm still kind of scrounging for mana a little bit. An extra card draw would be very helpful.
Yeah, yeet. Although I suppose technically Tom could just steal it from you, but
You can take it from him.
Oh, I can't wait to show you guys my Rashmi deck. There's some really cool cards in there that we just never use in this play group.
That's the Eternities crafter.
Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, the only
There's
sack
a
lands I
land
included
that I
in
didn't
this.
know exist.
The only sack lands I included in this deck were ones that give me a net gain.
Hmm.
So Blighted Woodland and Myriad Landscape.
You know what that means, right, Evan?
No.
Wait,
That means Jim will eventually come around to the idea that fetch lands are good.
Fetch
wait, how
lands
did I
are
draw
great.
something? Oh, I shuffled my library. That's why I don't know what's on top of my library. Lol.
That'd make sense.
Oh.
Tom, I don't think I'll ever get to the stage where I think fetch lands are good.
Nah, you're right there. You're right on the precipice.
Fetch lands are excellent.
They are. They deserve a real reprint to bring down cost, and not just a secret lair.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not sure they
a
wanted to
box
bring
top.
down cost.
well, they have said time and time again that they don't consider the secondary market when it comes to reprints.
That's total horseshit.
That
I
has
know.
to be a lie.
I'm sure that's why they printed
If you
5
didn't pay
cards and
attention to
charged.
There would be no reason for Commander Collection Green foil to be as expensive as it was.
Yep.
And
Or
it
when
has
they
how little printed it was.
Well, think about the secret lair that was like all 5 of the fetch lands they did. It was like $300 for 5 cards. There's no way they arrived at that number by pulling a paper out of a hat. Like they 100% looked up how much they were selling it for and basically sold it at the secondary market's MSRP minus like 5%.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, absolutely. It is frustrating though, because who was it? I think it was Rudy with Alpha Investments was describing how that's actually if they are taking into consideration the secondary market, that is very questionably legal.
It's
like,
them saying they're not, if they are, is
Yeah.
like, if you're using it, just say it. Like,
the transparency would be welcome, I'm sure. I mean, there's people who would absolutely lose it if they found out about it, and I'm sure there would be a lot of outrage, but at the same time, I would appreciate just knowing, you know?
yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, it seems good.
What? I'm actually running a Dragons deck. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Don't make me go and buy a Tarka Dragons right now.
I mean, Atark is in here.
Ryan's dragon deck actually got spruced up quite a bit.
Yeah, he was talking about it a fair bit. It's a
Yeah,
shame you didn't say you were going to do that first. I was going to offer the opportunity to pick another target, but now I'm going to have to board wipe.
Well, he wants the
hold
Monarch.
on, wait.
I don't care, I needed it. So I'm going to blow everything up.
Wait, I need my stuff. Hold
I
on.
can live with that. We have totem armor.
Well, Evan doesn't get the Monarch ability if steals it, so.
But I need Jared out. Hold up.
I saw an opportunity. I can
Evan,
use
is
the
your,
card
is
draw.
your board wipe instant by chance?
No.
It wouldn't matter, he can't.
Couldn't cast it anyway because of Dramoka.
No, I know. I mean, can I get the Monarch back and then you can board wipe?
It is not instant speed, no.
Important point of note, if Pat gets the Monarch back, he's never letting go.
Well, only if I have something to prevent myself from being hit, which I don't at the moment.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, you're good to board wipe, Evan.
I think I'm going to hold on to it for now, actually.
I'll be big sad, but
It's a calculated risk. I really didn't think about taking the Monarch until the last second. I know I should have probably mentioned, oh, by the way, I wanted it. But, I digress.
Let me see. I tapped a little bit wrong here. Red.
Gonna bring out Bolas, so I have to toss that card I just got. Yup. Evan just went pranked.
I have a different plan in place if it's going to work for me.
Okay.
Oh boy. Well, I only have 1 mana left, and I don't have a 1-drop.
Sorry, buddy.
That's okay. I don't know if the top card on my deck would be a land after that. I'm kind of stuck at 5. Which is kind of like cast 1 spell per turn territory with this deck.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
It's fine. I'm the one who built the deck with the kind of a higher than average curve, but the extra card draw may have proved helpful, so I might need to see if I can weasel that back from somebody.
Well, as Jim previously stated, if Pat gets the Monarch, we're probably not getting it back. You can just block with Jared and then make Jared dummy thick.
He'll have to give it flying, which I'm assuming he can do. I just don't know if he can do it before I try and smack
I can
back.
just make him unblockable.
No. To make...
To stop
you want
him...
Jared to block our stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting here thinking to myself, like, do I have any way? Do I have removal?
Yeah, like I know I've got, I'm in black and red. Like I have some removal, but like a lot of it, because I'm trying to stick with like Bolas flavor with the build, is maybe not as aggressive as it could have been.
Or costed a little bit higher than its counterparts.
For flavor.
Because
yeah.
It was... Yeah. I'm really trying to figure out what the heck you're doing, Jim.
Ramp.
Seems like you're sitting... I was gonna say, it looks like you're just kind of ramping and dirtling.
As long as you're having fun, man.
Well, I mean, my commander's a 7-drop, and I need to be able to cast other stuff as well.
He also wants a lot of lands, though.
Checks out.
So, what's his shtick? He just enters and then makes a bunch of sand warriors?
On the next turn.
Okay.
And when he leaves, he takes them all with him.
But if
They're still sand warriors.
Or, in theory, and you can tell me if I'm reading this wrong, if he enters and then leaves before the next upkeep, he wouldn't take any of them with him because he wouldn't be there.
Also correct.
Gotcha.
So if he hits the field and then board wipe, next turn comes around, I'm the only one with field presence.
That's fair.
Which really suits my playstyle of leaning into a board wipe.
Jim does do that from time to time.
I actually gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I drank a lot of caffeine earlier, so I'll just take my own time up. I will be back in just a moment.
Copy that. So, Tom, I know when we had initially talked about this, and I'm bringing this up because it's kind of a continuation of a conversation we had previously. The original idea was like, hey, we should get into YouTube stuff, like make YouTube videos and whatnot, and it kind of pivoted into streaming. I don't know if that's more of a convenience thing or exactly why, but like, I'm happy to be here for it. I found out, I've kind of continued in the background trying to find software that would be good for video editing that's not going to cost an arm and a leg, because like Adobe Premiere I think is kind of the industry standard, especially on Windows, but it's like $20 a month just for that software, and it's like 50 or 60 a month to get the whole Adobe Creative Cloud, which is bananas, especially if it's going to be a YouTube video that's going to pick up like 2.5 views tops.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, if you're starting from not knowing any video software, then it doesn't really matter. A lot of people that use Adobe use it because they started in college with video editing, and so that's what they know.
And that's probably true of any platform, though, because each piece of software is going to have quirks, and you're probably going to use one and then kind of get invested in how that one works.
Well, that's why they give free keys to students. It's the same reason that all the 3D printing software, or the 3D modeling software, gives free keys to students.
You can't even buy like Adobe Premiere anymore. It's subscription or you don't get Adobe Premiere. Like, they don't sell a legacy
I'm gonna
version.
guess you're not gonna let me take Monarch, huh?
Not without a fight. I mean, after this next turn, you can just have it back. I don't care. But it's going to Evan or nobody. Kind of where we're at right now.
This might be a bad decision, but we're gonna see how it goes.
Anyway, really quick, just to finish a thought, I found out about this software called DaVinci Resolve.
I mean, now Tom doesn't need the Monarch.
Yeah, Jim's right. Don't need the Monarch anymore. It's a card draw on stick.
Listen, can I have the Monarch, please?
Yeah,
I don't have anything to make Jared unblockable or anything right now.
You can take it now. You just gave me a better card draw engine than the Monarch.
Swag.
But no, the software that I found out about is called DaVinci Resolve, and apparently it is quite capable. And they have a free version that comes with a good base video editor, and then it's a one-time payment to unlock the one, like all of those extra really advanced features, if that becomes something that is worth it. So I downloaded and installed it earlier, and I'm gonna fiddle with it, possibly with this episode, like this stream here, if I can maybe come up with like a cut down version to post like one of our matches in 5 minutes on YouTube or in 10 minutes instead of like the hour that it'll take to play out.
You have fallen victim to one of the classic blunders.
What? Never. But why would you do this?
Because I can.
We're like, here, have this nice thing. I'll let you. I'll take the Monarch, and you can keep your thing. And now you're like, psych.
Okay. Just don't let me activate my ability. That's cool.
Okay, but
Through
Tom,
your ability, Pat.
never bet against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
It's okay, I'm gonna exile his commander for that.
Yeah, please do.
Well, here's the thing, I don't have enough mana now. I can't cast Nicol Bolas again, so I have no choice but to start ripping into other stuff. So I'm just gonna start removing people's boards as they come out.
Good, you should. Pat's a big meanie.
Do I get to keep my board, Evan? I've been nice to you.
I haven't decided. It depends on whether or not you get intimidating.
Listen, I have literally nothing else.
Same here, except for removal. And guess who made it so that I can't use anything else?
What?
Who just board wiped? I can't even try and work towards activating Bolas's other ability to flip him into a planeswalker because I don't have enough mana to bring him out again, so I'm going to spend the mana on other stuff.
Well, I mean...
let me put it another way. My
already.
hand is at the hand limit. I need to cast a spell next turn, and right now the only spell I have in hand that I can cast is going to exile a target creature. I'm thinking the 10/10 commander, while I have no blockers, is a pretty reasonable target. That's the problem.
Or I could say I won't throw it at you.
I don't think he cares. He's kind of mad now.
No, I want to use the deck, but this deck, just by its nature, it's like a little wonky. Like, I've got a couple small cost things, it will take time to rebuild.
I'm in a weird spot where I in no way care that happened.
Excellent, Jim.
Rude. Well, my creatures had ETBs, and that's why I wanted them.
I hope you care now.
All right, Pat, I think I have a compromise for you.
Okay.
Don't swing it at me.
Okay.
And my removal's instant speed. If you try and put hexproof, indestructible, or shroud on your commander, I'm removing it before the spell resolves.
Yeah, no, that checks out. That's fine.
Other than that, I'll leave it alone and I'll try and put something else together so that I'm not being too mean.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna level with you, Evan. You should have told him to bite your shiny metal ass. Bender style.
If it was an artifact themed deck, I would.
This reminds me,
Yeah.
I am so hyped for the foretell mechanic. It's just better
Oh, yeah.
suspend.
Yeah.
It is just better suspend.
I mean, suspend is good if you can force it on other people's things.
Actually, I should rephrase that. It is not better suspend because you still have to pay for it, but it is better because you can time it as you want.
Well, you can time it what you want, and it's a way to stow away your cards for later.
Yeah.
Like being able to store them and your opponent not know what you've stored is huge.
You can just exile a board wipe and have that looming for the rest of the game.
That's the big thing. So suspend is possibly more cost effective, but it telegraphs the move. Foretell is secret and therefore potentially more powerful at the cost of a little bit of extra mana.
And the
It's
one
not even like extra mana though. You just pay the foretell cost, and then whenever you want to activate your spell, you just pay 2 mana of any color.
No, other way around.
Nah, it's pay the 2 to
Yeah.
exile it, and then you pay the remaining mana cost to cast the spell.
Okay.
Whereas I know
Now,
suspend comes with a mana cost to suspend the thing as well. So actually, I guess this conversation depends down to each spell individually for whether it's better or
closer
worse.
to morph, but it's exiled instead of being face down.
You know, that's probably what the design philosophy was. How do you morph an instant or sorcery?
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is Wizards admitted morph was broken because players would cheat, and it was really hard to catch until the match was already over.
Yeah.
Because I could just morph a land, and if I never flipped it, you didn't know.
We
I
had a
noticed
few
in the
games like
rules,
that in paper. Sorry to cut you off, Pat. Go ahead.
No worries. I noticed in the rules for foretell, at the end of the game, you must reveal all foretold cards to show that they had foretell.
Yeah.
And that's to keep people honest.
And it wasn't until morph was rotating out of standard that they came out with a similar rule for morph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really dig the foretell mechanic, and some of them you end up with a net gain of like casting it for less. Some of them you actually pay more to do that.
Well,
But
the other thing is you're splitting up the mana costs, so you can
Yeah.
do it over 2 turns.
That's
Exactly.
true.
Is very helpful.
Now, can
So
I
you
ask
can
you
cast them
guys
earlier.
opinion on another Kaldheim mechanic, and that is the gods that they've introduced. This is, I think, the first time they're introducing gods into the game where they don't have some sort of either indestructible or other persistence around them, like the god Eternals that put themselves into the library to third from the top or whatever. These just seem like gods that die to removal. Thoughts on that?
Well, they also added a fair amount of ways to add indestructible, so I don't mind it as much.
That's fair.
Honestly, I love this idea that we now have artifacts and vehicles and enchantments in the commander spot.
Yeah. Because you could cast a god as its artifact pack.
And vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's super cool. I think pretty much all of them are good on both sides, except for maybe Tybalt. And Tybalt isn't bad. It's just the god is much better than the Planeswalker.
The Planeswalker can be.
Yet.
The Planeswalker is good if you can cheat him in.
Yeah.
Like, he's powerful. He just costs like 7 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, at its current casting cost, it's just like it's a lot of mana for not a great ability.
Yeah.
But no, overall, like, yeah, I think it's odd. Jim's right. They've added a lot of ways to give your creatures either indestructible or some form of strong protection.
Well, some of them are god
Pretty
specific
much
too,
in every
so
color.
it would synergize with the older gods that don't have indestructible as well. Like the one card adds an indestructible token on a god.
I mean, maybe. But I guess the other thing that I would bring up is, like, I think it also plays into the mythos of the set, because we have a Phyrexian on the plane, you know, and I haven't read the lore for this set, but I know, like, it tries to kill Vorinclex, not just from the card, but from, like, people's Twitter and things like that. Spoiler, she does not, as far as I'm aware, kill Vorinclex.
Interesting.
First thing you do when you planes jump, clean your shoes. You never know what you're tracking.
It's true.
Yeah.
Carry some
Do I
Clorox
be a
wipes
jerk
in your
and
back
throw
pocket.
Jared at somebody? I don't think I do. I really don't think I do. Ooh.
But I don't know. I have lore issues with Kaldheim. I overall really like the set and the stuff in it. I really feel like Kaya was very shoehorned in.
Mm-hmm.
I basically have the same complaints that Marios does, in that, like, I think it's amazing that Magic wants to be inclusive and have characters from different walks of life that represent parts of our society. I think that's super cool. I also feel like Nicol is a very forced character. I feel like Kaya is a very forced character on this set. I haven't quite figured out why she's there.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't read the story either, so kind of a mixed bag, I suppose.
Yeah, I haven't read it, which is the only reason I'm kind of electing not to express an opinion on it just yet. But it'll definitely be really exciting to see how things shape up. I'm looking at it and I'm so used to the idea of the gods being like these indestructible powerhouses, and seeing the gods from Kaldheim just being like regular creatures. I mean, good, nonetheless, they're good creatures, don't get me wrong, but like they're normal. Like a board wipe would kill them too. The spell murder would kill them too. Like they feel, I don't know, less incredible than they otherwise might have, right?
Yeah,
For sure. I think thematically it would have made sense to make them indestructible if you had -1/-1 counters in this set, though. Like if you added poison or wither. I know they kind of like teased poison counters with like maybe 5 cards, but to have that as part of the set would have, I think, maybe enticed giving them indestructible or some way where, you know, they can't die easily. But that's just me.
Yeah.
That seems rude, but checks out.
Well,
Just working towards a goal.
I want the card in my hand, so I guess I'll exile my Black Blade because it's not doing any work for me right now.
That is
Well,
one of the nice-ish things about that ability, is it lets you not just lose a card from hand, but you can get rid of something you don't need on board.
Let's see.
oh, Palladia's out, and she a bad bitch.
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel like
seeing
that ultimate
I'll be
is
honest, I'm more afraid of Palladia than I would be afraid of Jared, but that's just me.
I mean,
yeah,
right
that's
now
fair.
she's just a commander with a bunch of keywords on her. She's really not that
Yeah,
interesting.
you know, the important ones: flying, vigilance, trample.
hexproof. Kind of hard to deal with.
Well, she's not hexproof anymore. She dealt damage.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Really? That feels rude.
What?
But I don't have Graveyard Recursion, so it doesn't really matter.
I wasn't
right?
sure. I was afraid that you were going to hit us with some, like, get all the enchantments and put them on Jared, now it's a problem. So I was like,
I don't use auras in this one.
Oh, that's fair.
I do.
Other than that, I'm going to just go ahead and pass, because that's all of my manas.
That ultimate would be way more threatening if we weren't playing Commander.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's, what's the format? Oathbreaker?
Oathbreaker.
He coupled with that one spell that kills a bunch of planeswalkers.
Spell.
Yes, that is... I think that's the format where he represents possibly the biggest threat.
Sure.
Because you could just throw him down, Elder Spell, kill all the planeswalkers, and then ult him in that same turn.
Yeah, because somebody gains loyalty
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
as they die.
The Elder Spell says destroy any number of target planeswalkers. Choose a planeswalker you control. Put 2 loyalty counters on it for each planeswalker destroyed this way. So I can blow out your commander, your Oathbreakers, and then fill him up with counters and then ult him in the same turn.
And you need, what, all of 7 mana to do that?
Yep. Which is a reasonably doable cost, depending on the game you're playing.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
The gym about to have dummy tokens. Primal Vigor. And 1, 2, 3.
My god.
4, 5,
Well, the other
6,
thing is, if he
7,
does
8,
Nicol
9
Bolas
lands.
again, I can just get rid of Hazezon.
Hazezon.
And then my stuff will be relatively safe.
That's true.
Interesting.
I'm just going to tap these lands so that I don't have to do things in response.
It's funny how Magic Online encourages you to not bluff because it's annoying.
Yeah, right.
And then you accidentally run through your entire hand because you're not paying attention.
I've just blown through my entire turn and been like, whoops.
I think we all have.
Yeah. Doesn't feel good.
That's when you learn to auto-yield to certain triggers.
So I did this thing. I got this like software for my camera that follows me around when I move. And it's weird. And I'm like moving around and watching it pan around. It's funny.
That's pretty
I
cool.
don't know. I think that's kind of neat. Is it a wide-angle lens or is the camera legitimately moving?
No, it's not like ultra wide angle. But it basically zooms in a little bit and then just reframes the shot around where it detects your face.
Okay, yeah. So it's wider than it looks.
Yep. Yeah, if I was to turn it off, which I actually can pull up the camera software and turn it off, it is a much wider frame. But I figured I tend to just kind of change the way I'm sitting, and instead of having to reach up and like move my camera around every time, I'll just use this.
Listen, I'm gonna need a little help here soon.
Help with
Because,
what?
like, I'm trying to deal with threats here. I'm gonna do what I can.
If you don't mind my asking, what threat or threats are you trying to deal with?
That fucking flying thing!
What, Palladia?
I mean,
Yes.
I wasn't planning on swinging at you again.
I mean, it's probably at the point where, unless we're ending the game, it's time to like start helicoptering around the table and smacking everybody for 8-ish.
I mean, Pat, your commander's gonna die.
The
isn't
real
it?
problem, no, it isn't, because prevent all damage, and he gets +1/+1 counters
Oh, okay.
equal
Yeah,
to the
never
amount of
mind.
damage he would have taken. So both of my creatures will die, and he's gonna get.
I'm also
12.
He's also tapped, so I mean.
Jared Carthalion's gonna be a 22/22.
Yeah,
Which would be-
Jared messes with my math.
So what's the deal? You either take 10 or turn him into a one-shot kill?
He has to
No,
block.
I have to block with both creatures, so I'm gonna lose both creatures.
Yeah, Nemesis Mask mixed with Jared makes it basically a board wipe.
Hmm.
Yeah, like there's nothing I can do. Like I lose both of my creatures and don't have a choice. Oh, and Jared's going to be a 22-22.
Seems
so now
reasonable.
would be a great time to use that instant after my stuff dies.
I'm going to level with you. It's not an instant. I just said that so Pat would back off.
That's fair.
If it was an instant, I would have considered jumping in beforehand.
I did find it weird that you said that and then proceeded to tap out the next 2 or 3 turns, so...
In order to be able to cast anything, I really needed to kind of...
Why the fuck do I have so many satyrs? Where did that come from?
Annex, dude.
It only gives me 2.
Primal Vigor helps everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense.
It gave you 2 per dead creature. Doubled. Interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder where Tom's swinging next.
It's a mystery.
Well, I don't really have to deal with Jared if I just play or remove Pat. Sorry, hon.
I mean,
But
that's a fact.
Listen, the 8/6 flying thing was concerning, okay? Jared can literally only hit creatures right now. Like, it doesn't matter. No, dude, don't you dare update right now, computer.
Time to restart. Bye, Pat.
That would be one form of player removal. Hate to see it, but
Tom just remote connected to Pat's desktop to force a restart because he got annoyed.
yeah, right.
Just install like the next Windows feature update, so it's got to take like 15 minutes to install.
I'm gonna go in here and manually tell it, don't touch my system.
It's
the
probably
only
fair.
thing that's weird with satyrs is they can't block, so you really have to just swing out with them every turn.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't strictly have to, but there's no reason not to.
Pause updates for 7 days. Leave me alone. Oh, imagine that.
Well, I'm dead to you next turn anyway.
Are you though? Like, you don't have something you could... Do I care? Yeah, let's do it.
Well, because technically, any one of us would be dead next turn, unless...
No, if you have any blockers up, he's not getting through.
He doesn't have trample yet.
Trample would do it, or any unblockable spell, which I understand that deck is kind of supposed to dig up for you.
I don't think I did unblockable, because I want to do that. I want to fight creatures.
That's fair.
Yeah, the only form of unblockable Pat has is Nemesis Mask.
You know, I probably should have kept Palace Sentinels, but...
That way, if you have like Infect or something, he can just move it Nemesis Mask off of Jared to another creature.
Yeah.
I didn't think that far ahead.
Sorry about that, folks.
Well, Pat, there you go. If someone has Infect, there's your answer.
His answer to what?
Oh, because Infect would, it doesn't deal damage. It would just add -1/-1/-1 counters to Jared.
It deals
and
damage.
prevents his effect.
It deals damage in the form of -1/-1 counters, so if you prevent damage, you prevent the counters. As far as I'm aware, because it's a replacement effect for the damage, but if the damage is prevented, the replacement effect doesn't happen.
Okay. I don't know. There's some weird interactions.
There
in
are
Magic.
cards that prevent damage prevention.
Yeah,
As weird as that sounds.
I do not run Questing Beast in there. I did not have
there's a red sorcery that does it too.
Well, I know there's
a couple.
there's like Skullcrack that says damage can't be prevented this turn, deal 3 damage. Like there's little spells like that, but like there's ways to kind of turn off his ability to prevent damage to himself, which if you can pop it early enough will just kill him.
The one I'm thinking of is a 2-part spell. It doubles damage and damage can't be prevented, and then the other side is like you deal 2 damage
Yeah.
to target. I just can't remember the name of it right now.
See, you're definitely not dead.
I'm still 100% dead.
I mean, I don't have trample.
Yeah, but Pat, if you can get another creature out, you can just move Nemesis Mask.
It would have to have haste.
You have red. Do you not have creatures with haste?
No. Well,
Weird.
I mean, if I get like Swiftfoot boots or something, maybe.
Yeah, Swifties I love.
If I run that in here, which I don't remember. Question of the day: do I run Swifties? Haha, fun fact, I don't. Although if I got that, that would be kind of nifty. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so hopefully I would like draw a cool card off of that.
Okay. I mean, I'm really hoping you get another Planeswalker out that lets you draw cards so you can do that instead.
Yeah, that'd be nice. The only planeswalkers in the deck are Bolas planeswalkers, and they all kind of tend to be a little disrespectful, but
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Your commander just draws 2 for no reason, but Pat had to board wipe.
Wait, so will you get your Sand Warriors at your upkeep?
He should,
Yeah.
because it should be a delayed effect.
It's just on the stack.
But will the game see it that way?
I've done it before.
It's old and crusty. Oh, okay, fair enough.
I play tested this a few times with Ryan, and that is how it works.
Cool.
So you're almost incentivized for to get rid of Hazezon.
Oh, that's a pretty cool card.
Well, actually, no, we don't want to. We want to wait till.
Well, no, I mean
Sand Warriors are out.
as the player playing him.
Oh yeah. No, that checks out.
But I run things so that the Sand Warriors will stick around.
So many rocks.
They're neat.
Rocks on rocks on rocks on rocks.
And I think we're going to let it go one more turn.
And do I wish I had 2 mana up to crack Myriad Landscape? That would be awesome.
Probably wouldn't be that awesome.
You would get...
Oh, I love that art.
That is a pretty
I
art.
think I say this every time you play that card.
Yeah, I think it's the
Let me see.
Ikoria art.
So I kind of spaced on the chat for a second, but we have something from Matt here. Bowman Gate. Prevent all damage to attacking creatures you control. Combat damage. Yeah, stuff like that. And there are cards out there, just to kind of continue that point, that say damage cannot be prevented. That's kind of the other half of that. So Jared here, by default, just says if damage would be dealt to Jared...
Sorry, I was going to make
Yeah, no,
18.
Yeah, Jared says if damage would be dealt to Jared while you're the monarch, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on it. There are cards out there that make it so that damage cannot be prevented.
Hey guys, do I have enough creatures?
No, I don't think you do.
Pat, attack Jim and make him kill them all. That'd be funny.
And I will not crack back. That shit'll be hilarious.
Alright, fair enough. We'll do it. Yeah, yeet. Well, we'll see what he does.
He's gonna give
Imagine
them all
he gives
haste and kill you.
throws them at somebody.
Yeah. You can
I
do
would
it, I
be
believe in
kind
him.
of mad.
Color fixing.
It's crusty and old. I'm sure it does something.
It's color fixing.
Everything Jim has is white. Also, everything Jim would cast, he can cast as though he had white mana.
That feels like a very roundabout way of just saying you can cast spells
Or white mana.
with like agnostic mana color. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 mana in mono white. It does what I want Chromatic Orrery for.
That's fair.
So I couldn't not include it. It's the weirdest color fixing I could find.
It is strange, but I like it.
I mean, it's really good. It's 3 mana for no... You don't have to worry about colors ever again.
Let's see what we get off Sylvan Library. That's not helpful.
These things happen.
Let's see what else we get. Yeah, yeet. Holy fuck.
Pat, question.
Yeah.
Are you going to attack me?
What, are you gonna fog?
No, something better.
What on earth are you gonna do?
He's gonna deflecting palm your commander.
That would be hysterical, and it is in colors.
Alright, Jim, make your case. What you got?
Oh, I have an instant that just gives all my creatures indestructible and hexproof.
So his commander would pick up an extra +18/+18, but yours just wouldn't die.
His commander's big enough that it doesn't matter. He doesn't need the extra counters at this point.
No, I know, it would just make it even more giant. But like, you wouldn't die, but Pat's commander would just become even like more ridiculously huge.
Yeah, which I mean is nice, and all of his +1/+1s are going to be doubled by my primal figure.
Yeah. That's so weird. It changed the card frame for your cards to white. Like I'm looking at primal figure and it's making me uncomfortable.
It is weird.
Okay.
Yeah, Celestial Dawn is disgusting, and I had to include it.
Sand Warrior is white.
Well, the other thing, Evan, is I have Caged Sun in here.
Yeah.
So now, if I get that out, I can double all of my lands.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So there's some synergy to have with it.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what a time to have all basics.
Yeah.
The deck is
I have
all basics.
Very little making him unblockable. I think that I have two things to make him unblockable, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you gotta have Prowler's Helm and Whisper Silk Cloak.
I have Whisper Silk Cloak. I do not have Prowler's Helm.
Prowler's Helm is nice. Means he's
If you equip that and
unblockable to
attack me,
everything
I'm
but
dead.
walls.
If you equip that and attack Evan, you're dead.
Am I?
Probably. It's Evan.
I actually don't think I have anything of any particular value right now.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you can remove Jim or Evan, but not me. Huh, that's pretty... Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, that seems like it might be a small issue.
yeah, you might want to deal with that. Now Pat's unkillable.
You can kill him with commander damage, and that's it.
No, you can't.
No, 'cause the commander
is a
damage won't be dealt to
replacement
him.
It won't be dealt to me.
That's a replacement effect. It would be dealt to the creature instead.
Oh,
Yeah. You
The
have to mill
only
him.
thing that can kill me at the moment is losing life,
Or mill.
because it's a very specific distinction.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna roll a die.
I got nothing to deal with this as he slowly picks us off, so...
Oh,
Nobody's got anything to deal with this.
nothing personal. I'm just gonna start moving things along.
Who are you attacking?
Yep, I got nothing.
Nothing personal. Just
I know Jim's got nothing.
because if I hit Jim, you probably have a way to remove him, which is just gonna be a pain in the ass. I'm gonna sit here and do nothing, so I'm just gonna.
No, I didn't really. I was just trying to see if I could find a way
Did
to
you
get
not
my...
actually have a board wipe? Because I feel bad now.
I mean, I had Damnation in hand, but I wasn't going to use it
okay.
because I needed the creature that I had out for a different thing.
I have a blink spell in this deck, and I really hope I draw it, because then I can just blink his commander. That enchantment will fall off, and then I can just deal combat damage to him.
I would be big sad.
That's exactly how you deal with that, though.
No, yeah, I mean, that checks out.
Yeah, what I was hoping that I would be able to do is draw a card, maybe draw another card off my... No, I couldn't do that. I was hoping I could flip another Planeswalker, cast it, Elder Spell it with the Elder Spell that was in my hand, and then just ult Bolas and kill all of you.
Oh boy.
Couple that with a board. I had enough mana to cast one of the cheaper Bolas Planeswalkers and a board wipe and the Elder Spell off of the As Foretold card. So depending on how I could weasel it, the ultimate on that Bolas would have won it.
Gotcha.
I enjoy that.
I apologize I had to steal that from you.
It's all good. It's the first time I've played the deck. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how it works. You know, it's kind of like it does one thing on paper because I have ideas, and then when you put it on the table, it kind of doesn't always do exactly that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, I don't know, the discovery process for that one.
As it stands, Tom has no reason to attack Pat. Or to attack either me or Pat. At this point, Tom probably just wants to turtle until he can draw an answer. Because if Tom goes after me, it means he has less time to deal with that.
Yeah.
And one of us needs to find an answer for Jared or Bad Things.
Luckily, you've Sylvan Library.
White Sylvan Library. Even more better.
Mhm.
Well, that'll help him see a few more cards.
Yeah. I'm gonna get comfortable over here for a minute. Watch.
I have things like Austere Command in this deck. So, like, I have ways to kneecap Pat. Like, there is a decent, I don't want to say a decent number, but I have a number of, like, enchantment and artifact removal cards in this deck, as well as just board wipes.
Yeah.
Just gotta hope that I hit one of them. I think Jim's kind of in the same boat. It's like he has a small handful of ways to interact. He's just hoping he hits one.
I didn't, for the record.
I'll do something cool. Because you're definitely going to be the one that dies first, because Pat can kill you indiscriminately.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything at all, so I was just recasting my commander.
So what I realized is I didn't actually have the Monarch, so Jared wasn't super safe.
That's true. Enough damage would actually have killed him.
Yeah.
I just can't do 34. I'm getting pretty close now, actually. And I should still be the
Oh,
Monarch.
damn, I didn't know that. Or I could have killed him.
Yeah! Yeah, I was like, oh my god, don't notice that Tom has Monarch, or so help me god, I'm fucked.
Well, I have a
Oh,
Tarkus
man.
command in hand. Creatures I control get +1 and reach until the end of turn.
He's
It's pretty cool.
So I could have killed him.
So, I'm sorry, I'm kind of catching up on chat stuff again, Matt. Yeah, so what the plan would have been, Pat's commander is not indestructible, so the play was going to be to cast a board wipe and destroy all creatures, then pop the ult on Bolas, which said for each player who doesn't control a planeswalker or legendary creature, they lose the game. So it wouldn't wouldn't have done anything if I didn't board wipe, because there were 2 legendary creatures on board, but the plan was to wipe the board beforehand. Mana depending, as foretold, was going to let me cast a 3-drop for free, so I had a couple plays in mind for stuff like that, but it's really not super relevant right now. It's not the win con the deck is built around. But it would have been interesting to see if that could turn into something that I could kind of figure out a way to get to work.
We gonna risk it.
I mean, I can't do anything. You have non-basic landlock.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
For all we know, Tom's got non-basic lands in hand and is electing not to play them.
I do indeed.
All of my stuff is non-basic planes. But yeah, that's a really weird card, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm good at sussing out those weird cards.
Send 2 1/1s at him. Do you like the Monarch back from him?
I can't deal damage to him. Take it back.
That's true. Never mind.
But I can attack with my Satyr and Palladia, and I'll draw 1 card and untap all my lands.
And since... No, because Palladia will be dealing damage, so she'll lose hexproof.
I can live with that. Actually, no, she won't be dealing damage because it's prevented.
All damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to the creature instead, so she'll be dealing damage to the creature. And hers just says, as long as she hasn't dealt damage yet, it doesn't care if it was dealt to a player or to a creature, so she should lose hexproof.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
This will be an interesting study, though, just to confirm.
She loses hexproof, though. It's really not the end of the world.
That's fair.
Oh, my Snake Umbra only cares if it deals damage to an opponent. That's what I was thinking.
Biggest oofus.
Here's a question in the world of oddities.
Mm-hmm.
If I had, say, what is it, Spectral Mantle, which gives me pro creatures, how would this interact?
If you
I'm not dealing damage to you.
That's what I thought.
You're just dealing damage to me, and he eats it.
So if you had protection from creatures, his commander would also not be able to hurt you, though.
Yeah.
So it will be this weird impasse where your damage gets redirected to his creature that just eats it, but then his creature just can't touch you, so we would just sit here in this weird stalemate until someone draws like an enchantment removal or a target player loses X life sort of situation.
And yeah, I didn't realize the 1/1 counter thing only happened if you had the Monarch pet. I thought it was just a static effect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have murdered his face.
Yeah, Pat told me what he wanted to do with this deck the moment he saw this legendary creature, and I was just like, you're a bad person, and no one's going to want to play against that deck. But like,
I mean, I really enjoy the
live
deck,
your best life.
but you need to have responses.
Yeah. See, I can both not want to play against it and appreciate it for what it is, though. It is really cool. It's just also uncomfy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to
I'm
like
at most, I'm going to try and play it like once, maybe a night.
I mean, enjoy it.
Like every other week.
It's fun. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just it's a powerful deck, and it's the kind of thing where if it's the only deck you ever play, it'll get a little stale.
For sure.
And someone at the table needs to have a response, or you're just gonna run over everybody.
It's also definitely going to twist the meta, because if you play it too much, then everybody's going to put more responses into their deck.
More just sorceries to make me the monarch, so I could just take it from you. More counters can't be put on permanents, more damage can't be prevented, like that kind of stuff, just to kind of undermine the things that it does. But that it wouldn't be very fun. I don't like building decks just to respond to something like that.
I forgot the satyrs can't block. Lol.
I think the best thing is just to have blink. If you just blink him.
Why is Pat at 7? Did you pay money or pay life into Sylvan Library?
Me? Yeah.
Okay, I was like, how'd you lose life? But that makes sense. It just use Brago, put him in the moon, and just don't think about it.
That's fair. But no, I was thinking, because blinking is such a good thing to have on your own, for your own stuff as well, if you run a lot of ETBs, that it's easy to incorporate into a deck without feeling like a bad guy.
Yeah. And blinking it on its own isn't inherently mean. It's like the effects that you put on it. Like, for example, Imprison in the Moon, being able to be put on a hexproof thing because it skips the stack, I think, can be mean depending on what you're putting it on.
Yeah.
But it can also be powerful because you could just like blink Jared and just knock the counters off of him.
What the heck just happened?
I'm not going to sit through this cycle of doing neither of us doing anything for a couple of turns. I don't have a.
What the heck just happened?
I don't have a quick way out of it. I didn't draw into an answer. I gave it 2 turns to figure something out. I was like, I don't care.
I'll be honest though, given how little. Sorry, go ahead, Pat.
I was gonna Scout's Warning to Dawnglade Regent, toss it out so that I can block make everything at the block the Dawnglade Regent, and then you can't block Jared.
Yo,
So-
Matt's got something in the chat. He says that you're working with him on a Tree of Perdition and Triskaidekaphobia deck.
Yeah.
Make someone's life total 13 and then murder them for it.
I actually,
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
since we were talking about it earlier, I put Tree of Perdition in Doran.
Yeah. Well, there's Tree of Perdition, there's Tree of Redemption, which I believe
your own life.
It does something to your own life. Like, there's a couple different things that'll do that, and there's a few cards that care about the number
They both
13.
have the exact same effect. It's just one's your opponent's, the other is you.
That's true.
Tom has a new game room up.
I do.
Alrighty, I'm coming into the thing. Click buttons.
Change it up.
I'm running the same one just because I want to kind of get a feel for it, if that's cool with you guys.
Evan, that was my impression of your deck, by the way.
Pile of rocks. That needs it. Grixis isn't really famed for its ultra high speed ramp, so we're just gonna put a bunch of rocks on the table and hope that nobody's mean to them. Oh boy, what do we got here? Hang on. Do we have enough land to cast spells? The other half of that is I don't have enough spells to cast, but
God, I want to keep this, but I shouldn't.
ooh, I am gonna keep this hand. Please do not take the ooh as a threat. I don't have like spells to cast with it, but I actually have like mana this time, so I'm excited to see what happens to it.
That is an interesting card, Tom.
Actually, reasonable
Let's see.
hand.
So what do we got? 3 red, 4/4. Create a 2/3 red Minotaur. All right, all right.
I'm gonna greed out, and I'm gonna keep a 1-lander.
Rashmi, I'm familiar with, but so it's kind of like Cascade, but only the top card of your library.
Yeah.
Neat. And Pat, you're gonna be. That's Jim. Never mind. Jim's doing. Oh, we know that commander. There we go. All right. So.
I mean, I don't know Iwamori of the Open Fist at all. I've never played against it. Is it good?
This is my group hug deck.
It's weird. It's like group hug, but like mono green style. So it's got like this weird emphasis on like, yeah, just put a bunch of creatures out. I want everyone to just be green today.
Jim, if you have Tempting Worm in hand, I would love you.
I don't, but turn 1, I drew Fog.
Because my hand is so dummy thick on CMC right now.
Yep.
No, I
fun
greeted
thing.
out and took a 6 land hand.
Fun thing. I'm also playing a group hug deck.
Wait, so Rashmi's Huggy.
Yeah.
Is it
Interesting.
Huggy or Tom Huggy? Because there's a big
No,
difference.
Huggy at all is nice.
There are at least
If you
6
have
or 7 cards.
If
in
you have
here
a thing that
are-
mills on people drawing cards, I'm gonna kill you.
No, I don't.
Okay.
This is like real group hug. Like I've got Rites of Flourishing, Kami and a Crescent Moon.
Neat.
Alright. But how does it win?
I can't tell you.
Insurrection.
No, we're not storming the Capitol today.
So it's funny because it doesn't even have red.
Alright. This is play.
That's neat.
For a second land. We in
I
this.
can tell you this is a high interaction deck as well, though.
Evan,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you run a little bit of Proliferate in that deck.
I would need to re-leaf through. If it's in here, it was not an intentional theme.
Well, your commander's a Planeswalker, that's why I was asking.
Commander is a planeswalker, but the reason I didn't build a Bolas deck in paper is because it would have run me like $350 to build it the way I want.
Yeah.
And this Bolas is argued to be one of the worst commanders that you can pick up for Grixis because he as a 4/4 is like, eh. Like, I like him, but people are like, yeah, it's a 4-drop 4/4 flying that has an enter the battlefield effect, and then you have to pay 7 mana into him to transform him, and his other side is good, but all it takes is one person just killing the planeswalker, and then you have to spend
It feels super overcosted.
it's 11 mana to get the planeswalker, and then 13 to do it again if someone kills it. It's very expensive for what it is. So I didn't
Yeah, if they had
hyperfixate.
done- Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't hyperfixate on like proliferate as a mechanic because I like the commander, but he's more of like a look at the cool card that I made at the top of my deck as opposed to something else.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's in the Precon Morph deck, there's that card that flips over all your opponent's creatures.
It would not turn him into a planeswalker. It would make him quote unquote face down and turn him into a 2/2.
Yeah.
Because transforming doesn't putting it face down doesn't make the back face up. It's weird the way that it works because
Except
morphing
that it does because it's
it does because that's how paper works, but it doesn't because that's not
Yeah.
how the game mechanic works.
yeah, which is weird but understandable.
So, in all seriousness, Nicol Bullet's Ravager would have been 100% better if he came out after they came up with the MDFC.
Because you can just cast him as a planeswalker.
Better.
Well, so it's a card that's meant to represent his origin. It shows him flying around in his home world, and then once he becomes powerful enough, he ascends and becomes the planeswalker. So like it makes sense. But at the same time, if I could just cast him as a planeswalker instead of having to go through this like jumping through hoops to play a creature and then spend a buttload of mana to flip him, like yeah, he would be so much better.
Well, the other planeswalkers that transform are easier to deal with. Like they just
Well, like the
Are
Chandra,
better
for
at
example, she flips when she's dealt 3 or more damage to a player that turn. Like, it's not like I have to pay a bunch of mana. I just need to, like, build a deck that just does things on a cadence that she connects with. You know what I mean? This one's the only one where it's like, yeah, it's just a paywall. You buy in or you don't get it. Like,
which is very on brand for Magic, but
back to our $300 secret lair 5 fetch lands thing. You either pay the money or you're not allowed to have it. That's fine.
It just sucks because they like marketed it as this thing that was gonna help like small card shops get through, you know, like the pandemic and everything. They were like, we came out with this product and we think it's gonna be super popular, and we're
And then they
only gonna
literally
sell it.
give it-
Yeah, we're only going to sell it directly to the card shops, and then they can sell it to you. And then they didn't give it to them and sold it themselves because not enough stores signed up for a $300 product.
It's because people recognize that not everyone walking in the doors will be like, oh, I've got $300 to spend. Like, absolutely not.
The price
Like,
point made the product line.
They're
a
printing
problem.
it on paper. They could be like, it's $15 plus shipping, and like they could make it like, if they can sell a booster pack of 15 cards for $4.99 or like $4.20 or whatever they charge for it, or what, like, you know what I mean? There's no reason they can't sell 5 cards for $5.
We'll just sell it to the store for less.
Yeah,
So they don't have to mark it up further. Like,
it's paper. They can sell it for a pretty low price point if they want to.
just tell the store, you know, MSRP is $300 for this. That's what we suggest everybody
But they
pay.
don't do MSRP. That's also a really stupid cop out. Sorry.
Yeah,
Continue.
No,
it was. But you know, you just suggest that pricing of $300, and you sell it to the stores at $100, and you know, you just move on. Like,
I mean, well, why
if
sell it to the
Wizards-
stores for $100 when they can sell it to the clients directly for $300?
and that was the shitty thing, because not Apple, Wizards initially was like, you know, we're gonna, you know, push this product to the stores so that way it helps them.
Yeah.
And instead, what Wizards did was they were like, yeah, so we feel like jerks for doing this, so we're just gonna give all these stores boxes of mystery boosters. You know, which was cool. But it was still like, I don't know, still a dick move.
Yeah. The secret lairs are such a cool idea in that they're producing cards that are sought after, or they're partnering with specific artists or supporting specific like events. And I love that, but they're setting the price point so ridiculously high that it's not accessible to the overwhelming majority of players. And like, a big reason you would reprint fetch lands is because the people who aren't willing to spend hundreds of dollars on the game can't get them. And yet you're going to charge hundreds of dollars to get access to them. It undermines the point
And
of
then
reprinting.
claim that it's not based on the secondary market.
Exactly. It's paper. If it's not based on the secondary market, every secret lair should be $1 per card or less. Like, if it's not based on some outside pricing model, there's no reason to charge more than the cardboard it's printed on.
The printing of the cards is less than a penny a piece, and then you figure a little bit to pay the artist, shipping, and all that.
Yeah.
Like $1 a card is not unreasonable.
Base it off the distribution price of a booster pack. I don't know. Like, if they can afford to sell a Commander Precon, it's 100 cards for like $40, how can they not sell 5 cards for less than 300? Like,
Listen, I'm perfectly comfortable with a price point of $30, $40, $50, but once you get above that, like, that's pushing it.
You got to be offering volume at that price. If you're telling me that you're printing these to demand and it's 5 cards, okay, well, then you should be able to set it to a reasonable price point. And if you're going to say it's $300, I'd like to see maybe, I don't know, 300 cards. Like some.
Well, Jim got into a good point there, and that is that there are other costs. Like the artist has to get paid.
Yeah.
And then for smaller batches, like we're talking about with Secret Lair, it costs them more at the printer, basically.
But that's why I think $1 a card
happen.
works as a reasonable price point for that sort of thing.
And you're also getting a premium product. Like, this is either going to be a foil or non-foil alternate. It is a special game piece. You know, you can get the regular game piece elsewhere. You know, and so that's why I think like between $30 and $50 is fine. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I do agree with you though, Evan, that like $300 for 5 cards, and they're pieces that you really can't get affordably anywhere. You know, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and to continue. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
No, I think it defeated the purpose. And then to give players a slap in the face and say, all right, well, we're going to include them in what was it? It was Double Masters, or was it Zendikar? They were like, they're going to be a box topper in that product.
Yeah.
And then some people were receiving their sealed boxes with no box toppers in them.
Yep.
And then I have to go through the process of filing a claim with Wizards customer support, and it was just such a massive slap in the face and such a massive failure of a product. And like, yeah, I think absolutely that Fetchland should be printed in a product like Commander Legends or something like that, where it is not a standard set and those game pieces become available, you know, outside of the standard. Son of a bitch. I meant to do something at your end step and I didn't.
Was it sacked Steve?
It was.
Let me ask you a question. What about the idea, like they include cards like Soul Ring and other like basic, I don't know, commander staple type cards in the precons? Why can't they just throw fetch lands into the precons? They don't need to come up with clever distribution routes, just have them be in the precons and make them very widely available. It'll cut the cost down over a couple years. I mean, that's something to think about too. The issue that I have, and like I'm gonna kind of take it in a different direction for a minute, Game Freak and Pokemon. Sword and Shield, they cut a bunch of Pokemon and the rationale was, oh, we want the animations to be better, we want the models to be higher quality, we can't do that for all of these Pokemon, it's too much. But then the games came out and the animations were like the same damn thing they were in the previous games. There was no measurable quality increase outside of like a few very select areas of the game. And the models just look like upscaled versions of the 3DS models, and it's like the rationale that you're giving for why this needs to be the way it is doesn't match the end result. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell us that you're trying to do this to cut down on the secondary market's cost, or you're trying to reprint a needed card and then sell it at a price point that doesn't change the aftermarket price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it bugs me when you're like, here's why we're doing this, and then introduce it in a way that doesn't accomplish the one rationale you gave for doing it at you know, like, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. No,
I mean,
no,
so
no.
Potential, what's the word for it? Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
But, like, I think other than a few big misses on Secret Lair, it's been super reasonable.
They've been good, and I've been happy with a lot of them. It's just that
there have been a couple big misses, like Walking Dead, and I think there was one or two others that it's like, why am I gonna, like the Godzilla lands? Okay, that's cool, but why is it $40?
Yeah.
I thought they were super cool. Alright, so the Walking Dead and the Godzilla lands, the reason they were costed higher than normal is actually pretty simple, and that's that they were using somebody else's IP.
The Walking Dead, not a complaint on price, complaint of the product itself on that one.
Yeah, I would agree with a complaint on the execution of the product and a failure of Wizards to keep their promise.
Evan, I hope that helps.
Thank.
Because that gives you access to 4 mana?
But I don't want to discard a card.
It does. Funny enough, I have a 3-drop I'm casting.
Yeah, it was still worth it. I figured I'd try and help out.
I'm gonna see if it'll let me spend that red, though. I want to use it up. It would be disrespectful if I didn't. So, and I will say, stuff like, and I don't follow The Walking Dead, but for that Secret Lair, and I don't know if Tom already said it, I was kind of zoning a little bit, but there's licensing costs. Like partnership agreements they have to go through, but like, especially if it's just your own in-house product, like it's your own fetch lands, you're printing at your own price. Why is it that expensive?
Yeah.
Like, you're not haggling with some other company to include their product anywhere. You know, like, shut up.
Like The Walking Dead, the price, I didn't really care. That's fine. It was the mechanically unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Wizards promised less than a decade ago that they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because
And
they had
like,
done it before.
You could have way easy. There's so many legendary creatures to choose from. You could have picked something and made it just a new art.
Which I think they did with the Godzilla ones.
Or like,
the Godzilla thing, super cool. I love that. Do more of that. Where you have that cool, it's the art name, and then this is the actual name underneath.
Yeah, where it's
that is
just
super
an
cool.
official proxy, basically.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, the commendation to that is like they even had an ability to do that. Like, we're going back to Innistrad this year. They could have just waited a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're literally going back to Innistrad, a plane filled with zombies, werewolves, and vampires. Come up with 5 legendary creatures in Innistrad that are all humans.
Mana Geyser.
You know, and incorporate, you know, those Walking Dead characters into it.
They literally have a set called Innistrad Zombies. Like, you couldn't find a way to work that into that release? Like, come on.
Then maybe they are. You know, maybe we're gonna get 5 5 legendary creatures that, you know, are those proxy type cards.
Yeah.
But now they're gonna have, you know, I don't even remember the characters' names, but you know, maybe that's how they're gonna make right. But it's just didn't sit right with fans. It's fine. It's whatever. Like I'm not okay with it, but it happened. It's in the past.
But like I think one of my favorite ones was the extra life one. I wasn't super wild about them doubling the price because they're essentially kind of, it's a little shady because you're gonna use that to then write it all off. But like,
I don't understand what you mean.
so they
Explain
doubled
it
the
for the
price. It
viewers.
was $60.
Okay.
And half of it's going to Extra Life, which then just essentially is a write-off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's just that part was a little weird, but like I appreciated them doing that towards a cause like that.
Now, here's a reasonable question for you. How much of this do you think is because Wizards of the Coast is going for it, and how much of it do you think is because
would bet it's
Hasbro,
Daddy Hasbro,
yeah, is sitting here going, hey, you guys have a very popular property. It's time to start monetizing. Here's what we want you to do. Come up with special releases and products. Bring in more business. Like,
holy cow, how did I get that? What?
Because Impact Tremors.
I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, it was Impact Tremors.
yeah.
I don't know how I got 18 though.
You did 6 damage to each of us.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean,
Hashtag math.
I graduated college, definitely
I didn't.
Apparently not.
with honors, believe it or not.
I didn't even go. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm poor. I can't afford this.
I just didn't graduate.
Oh.
Naheb is the commander I was talking about. The mono red that you can do infinite combat steps with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty big in CEDH.
Matt says he didn't go for a math degree, so you're fine. Yeah, so I went for computer science personally, and then stopped doing that after a year, and then fooled around to community college for like 4 years, and then just kind of stopped. Personally, I don't know. That's fine. I don't know about the rest of you guys, what you went to study.
Computer programming and game design.
Neat.
One of these days I'll actually
Mechanical
try doing it.
engineering.
Cool. That's
I
complicated.
saved my money.
Not the computer stuff isn't complicated, but like, I think mechanical engineering sounds tricky.
I had thought about going for engineering, but like hadn't decided by like with a month left of senior year in high school. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the Delaware County and do computers. Because why not?
Yeah.
Yo, what?
Don't worry about it. It's casual.
So you're gonna have 2 Rashmis or 2 Biomancers? I'm not sure which
I'm really not convinced this is a group hug deck.
Yeah, me neither.
It's probably fine.
I mean,
I've seen
there's
group hug, and this ain't it, Chief.
there's group hug cards in here. I don't know what you
Having
want from
group
me.
hug cards doesn't make a group hug deck.
I just haven't hit any of the group hug cards. I'm sorry. I feel like I could pick either of these and it'll be good.
It'll be exciting either way. You gotta choose if you want bigger creatures or if you want to flip things twice.
I'm glad Progenitor Mimic's in the graveyard, though.
That does make me a little less nervous.
I'm not saying this is a clone deck, but I want to give you guys good stuff so I can clone it. Because we decided as a play group that we don't like stealing things.
But
So
there's
I
nothing
decided
wrong
I'd
with.
clone it instead.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's
Check it out.
a slight workaround.
If you ever saw the what was it? The Command Zone guest episode where they had a fan come on and he played the Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better deck.
This is kind of that, but
I'm getting
in
a
Simic.
faint that vibe. Different colors, but you've now got two. Like anytime you clone a thing, hey, they're gonna get extra counters. So whatever you borrow from one of us or clone from one of us is just gonna be a stronger version of our thing.
Yeah, it's gonna get 4 counters on it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not a problem.
No, it's casual. Don't even worry about it.
I'm about to let everyone draw, so make sure if you want your thing.
To make sure you want your thing. You're fun, Jim.
Well, it's a group hug deck. I'm playing it like a group hug deck instead of a clone. Give me all your things.
My group hug deck literally is just give me all your things because I'm gonna kill you with it.
Okay.
And then
See,
Mario
right.
says, "Don't touch me until I have my combo and win the game."
Yeah.
It's very effective. I mean,
Yes, I will scry.
So this could just be me, but Pat kind of getting scary as hell over there. Anybody else seeing that?
I'm seeing
Yeah, no,
your
I've seen
board
it.
and getting itchy, but I'm trying to remember you said something group hug and not let it get to me.
I just really haven't pulled any of the group hug cards in this deck yet.
Pat's board does have the intimidation factor going on a little bit.
You gonna make us draw cards, Jim?
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah. Let's see what we get.
I don't want to discard a card.
Yeah, I mean, that checks out.
No, I do know what I'm gonna get rid of
Well,
though.
I mean,
And when you guys see it hit my graveyard, you're gonna be like, "Thank God he tossed that."
I wanted to
But the
give you
thing
guys.
is, when you
draws.
toss it,
Like,
we're gonna see, okay, what the hell else does he have?
I also wanted to get more counters on Otherworld Atlas, so I can give you guys even more draw.
That
I mean,
checks
it's a pet card of mine, Pat.
Here, I'll get rid of Harsh Mentor as a gesture to the group.
out.
Yeah, I'll get rid of Mind Stylation.
It's considerate of you.
You
He got rid of it. It's fine. It's totally
It's
chill.
a pet card of mine, Pat.
Tom,
it
inherently
should
not
be.
a group hug deck.
I run it in Kineos and Tiro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, Evan
but-
runs in his group hug deck.
I'm trying to hug you with my mind. If you play cards, I just want to hug so close that I get to play them too.
Yeah,
It's a
look,
card.
look, she even has her arms crossed like she's ready to hug somebody.
Yeah, she's got like
She's hugging.
she's got like extra arms coming out of her back for additional hugging power. It's fine.
Yeah. Just like, wow, thank you for casting that spell. Me too, sir. Please, sir, can I have some more?
I like looked at my hand and was like, why didn't I draw? And then I remembered I have As Foretold here helping me
Yeah.
get counters one at a time.
Man, it'd be really nice if I had things to cast still.
Pat blowing a fat load over there and then complaining about it.
Listen, I'm not gonna complain about my board state. I just wish I had more.
Why
I mean,
is
that's
every
always
Simic
the case.
Why is every Simic creature, every humanoid Simic creature, always off on the left, looking at something to the right?
It's a good question.
I don't know.
Because it's on flavor.
All right, I'm just gonna do it and see what happens.
What? Please don't damnation. I would
That's
be big
green
sad.
mana, so.
Okay.
Oh, return to the battlefield transformed.
We're gonna
Look at this
flip
guy.
him and see what the back looks like.
Jim, why?
Have a mana.
I'm gonna take. I think this deck's center black, so I'm gonna try that and see if I flip anything interesting.
Because he's about to draw 2 cards, so he might actually need the mana.
Let's see, so I can +2 to draw 2 cards, -3 to have him deal 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker, seems reasonable. -4 to put target creature or planeswalker from a graveyard onto the battlefield under my control, and I can -12 to exile all but the bottom of target player's library.
That last one feels mean.
That is disgusting.
That last one's really funny if you can make someone draw 2 cards.
Downside here being I'm at 8 in hand, and I do not have a 1-drop.
I tried.
That's okay. I'm gonna have to pass and choose something to discard.
I mean, I keep giving you the mana because I imagine you run more expensive cards.
There are some higher cost things in here. Yeah, I'm totally gonna swing with my 1/3. Thanks.
And I want to be able to assist getting your deck out as a group hug deck. Pat's deck, I don't want to help because Impact Armor starts the table.
Yeah.
So I'm not helping him on principle. Still gonna give him cards though.
That's fair. The good news is, since nobody killed Bolas, it's not 2 discards, it's just the 1 when he first came in. If I have to recast him, it's going to be additional discards, which is a shame.
Tom, can you do me a favor? I would have Pat do it, but I don't trust Pat's deck.
Yeah, what you need, boss?
Your Master Biomancer, can you attack me with it?
See, Jim, I was going to offer that,
yeah.
but I drew something that changes the plan a little.
Like I said, I don't trust your deck.
Okay, will there be any hard feelings if I try and move things along here?
Define hard feelings.
Like, I can probably smack for lethal right now.
I mean, it's turn 6. That'd be kind of rude. Because the game will probably go out to like turn 10. So if you can lethal one person, it'd be kind of rude.
I mean, if you want to do it, go ahead.
That's at your discretion. If you swing at me, I will leave it at this. You better kill me, because if you don't, I have some very pointed, very malicious cards in hand, and they will all be yours if you
Listen,
hurt
I don't
but
want
do
to
not
put you
kill.
out first again.
Whatever happens is... I'll leave that there. It needs to be lethal or it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
So... Okay.
Just rereading your commander. Seems good.
Listen, don't stop telling me we can concede my turn. I'm thinking.
Go ahead and concede your turn, bud.
Hey, shut up. Leave me alone.
It'll be fun.
I'm aware that it's going to concede in 4 minutes. Leave me alone, goddammit.
You're taking a long time.
Okay, so...
I've never had that pop up, but I'm always actively doing stuff.
Yeah, I can honestly say I've never had that pop up.
I've had it once or twice when I had like a really thinky move ahead of me.
I cannot quite kill 2 people.
I'm just really
It's
curious
super
what you're trying to
Close.
He's just doing math.
Yeah.
Because he has shared animosity and a bunch of big minotaurs. Like, he doesn't have anything in hand, Jim. He's literally just going to turn creatures sideways.
Math is for blockers then. What are you doing?
No, I've seen that, and I've seen how it turns out. We're not of that opinion. Okay.
I don't know. I still hold that math is for blockers. I've been thoroughly convinced.
Math is for blockers if the board position is commanding enough.
You see, I know if I pass turn, things are going to get removed. So it's like I kind of have to make my move.
I never trust when I hear the dice rolling. It's never a good sign.
Well, you see, the dice say I should remove you, Jim.
See, I told you.
He was right.
Lords of Chaos have spoken. Dem's the rules.
Jim, do you have a convincing argument?
Do it. See what happens.
Oh, he's got a fog.
Yep.
Yep.
And depending on who you swing at, he might just think it's funny to fog you either way.
Tell you what, Jim. How about I throw just a 4/4, which can become a 5/4.
Hey, Jim.
Pat, I'm gonna repeat this nice and slow for you. Do it. See what happens.
Jim, hear me out.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it, he says.
If you're wondering, I've been studying at the Mario School of Table Politics.
That checks out.
I don't like that it now separated all my tokens and just leaves them there.
That is weird. I don't like it.
It seems to do that every time you mess with the stats on the tokens. It's like these are no longer able to be stacked, and it just blows them everywhere for no reason.
Yeah, we're just gonna pass through the turn. Why does he leave? Why is he leaving up open mana? It's a blue player off the top ropes.
Because it's not a group hug deck, that's why.
It's a blue player with 6 cards in hand and plenty of open mana. Admittedly, a little bit of discomfort, but it's okay.
Like, I am so very not convinced that that's a group hug deck.
Jim,
100% not.
Wait, like,
And Tom, I'm mad at you because you didn't attack me with Master Biomancer like we talked about.
I'm sorry, Jim.
What have we seen? Progenitor, Mimic,
Why didn't you remind me?
Mind's Dilation, your commander, Masto Biomancer, and a clone card. It's not looking huggy. So
I'm sorry, Jim. I'll get you on the next round. I'm sorry.
What did you need? Something to die in combat?
Yeah.
I need Ruined Servitor to die so everyone can draw a card.
I mean, you could just
need dying. Yeah, you could just kill it with Bolas, right?
I could, or he could just attack. Like he could attack you.
Yeah, now it can attack, so I can.
Yeah,
but it couldn't attack before.
Me, Jim.
Yeah.
I got you. Sorry, bud. Why did I just draw so many damn cards? What the fuck just happened?
Jim gave you 2 cards.
Well, because the thing has 2 charge counters on it, so he tapped it and you drew 2.
Because Otherworld Atlas is nice like that.
Jim, you're running so many goddamn artifacts in a green deck.
I have a lot of artifacts.
It's fair. Checks out.
Yeah, that checks out. I don't really have any compelling argument to the contrary.
I mean, Jim, you could throw the rune servitor at me if you want.
Nah, Jim, fuck me up.
I wanted to do Oracle of Moldiah first, so that if there was a land on top, I could just play it.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Me, planning out my moves for once.
Brain smarts. I like it.
Yeah.
Kind of sad because I forgot to leave up mana for my fog, but hopefully one of you guys can deal with Pat stuff.
I have a plan.
I have something I could try and do as well. Is your plan instant speed, or should I plan to do something?
No, mine's instant speed.
Mine's going to be a little aggressive to the whole table, so if you would like me to restrain that for now, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean mine's instant speed. And I'll say this, I will use it whoever Pat attacks. If Pat chooses to attack.
I
So it's
appreciate
Aether
that.
Spouts.
So it's what?
It's whatever, or Aetherize.
Not necessarily.
Or something
No.
similar.
Yeah. There's a number of cards with that effect, or roughly that effect.
Yep.
But the reason I have cards like that in this deck is because I understand this is a slightly slower deck.
This is a pretty quick deck because I don't listen to people when they tell me a green deck shouldn't run so many artifacts.
So just to confirm, am I casting something of value or no?
You may.
I mean, it's going to be kind of explodey.
Is it gonna hurt me?
It's going to hurt everybody.
It's up to
have
you.
that. I don't give a fuck.
How about,
I mean,
how about this? Black or
It is
red?
what it is.
I'll cast one. You tell me if it's the black card in my hand or the red card in my hand.
Black.
the black card.
Cool.
Rip it off like a band-aid, just get it over with.
I'll vote red to be divisive.
Ring Omnipotence. No, don't do that. That's a lot meaner than it could have been.
Dude, it's going to do a bunch of shit.
Rounded up. Rude. Oh, you lose half your life too.
Yeah,
I don't mind as much.
Everybody. That hits all of the people.
And Pat actually loses the most life.
It-
Because that's how math works.
I think Tom loses the most cards out of his hand, Pat loses the most creatures and the most life.
And I'm at such a state where I don't actually care.
I mean, I'm figuring the game's probably over in a turn or two anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. It's odd playing a legitimate group hug deck because the mindset I play as is very different.
Yeah. That's an issue that I have, is like when I play Kaineos and Tira, they do have proper group hug elements, and I consistently try and play them a little bit more tactically than I think I'm supposed to.
I mean, that's your play style, for one thing.
I just like to keep my options open, and I think that kind of isn't what group hug is supposed to be.
You're a very tactical player.
I try not to show my hand until it's time to conclude things, and that whole deck, the entire point is that you're supposed to kind of be upfront about it a little bit.
I gotta get rid of 2?
Round
This
it
is
up.
not very, this is not very cash money of you, Evan.
I'm sorry. On the flip side, that's all I got.
On the downside, because of the fact that we lost half our life, we are all still kind of in lethal range.
No, we're all definitely still in lethal range.
The good news is I think I just painted a big fat target on my face.
Yeah, a little bit.
I
We
mean,
also don't have blockers.
yeah,
And I'm not terribly incentivized to protect you anymore.
that's fair.
But I'm a man of my word.
Do what you gotta do, man. I'm not gonna take it personally.
I would certainly protect you, but I smooth brained through my turn and forgot to leave mana for my fog.
No worries. I'm happy I got to flip my commander and actually use him a little bit.
Yeah, that's always nice.
So like, I'm not too mad about it. It's still kind of early in this deck's life, so just the opportunity to use it is satisfying.
That's arguably really good, but I'm not okay with it.
Casual boys, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, he's also still got 3 mana up, so he can just give this crap haste.
Well, we're gonna see what happens here.
A lot of things. It's fine.
Seems good.
Man.
That sucks.
Okay. I can't activate an ability while I'm declaring attackers?
Nope. You'd have
But
to
I
do
thought
it
that
either.
was the only opportunity I get. to activate abilities.
That's it's either before you go to combat, after you declare attackers, after blockers are declared, and it's like it's post decisions, as I understand it. Which ability were you
Okay.
looking to activate?
Well, Sethron's.
What you doing there, bud?
Yeah, you would either have
He's
needed
trying
to do
put
that
haste on things, but
in main 1 or after you declare attackers.
yeah, so you just messed up the timing with it.
These things happen.
I do.
That's true. You get 6 mana just from the stuff that you cast earlier.
Oh, we're gonna try this. We're gonna see what happens.
Ouch.
That, depending on how the coin flips go, that could be us dead.
Mhm.
We'll see. Yep.
Hey, my man.
About all I got, though.
I'm not happy about that, but
I'm sorry.
I'm very happy about that.
It's possible lethal. He had to do something.
Yeah, depending on what he flipped, that could have been
I
very
mean,
dead.
if he flipped all heads down, we're talking 8 damage. No, we're talking 16 damage because of Sethron. So we're all dead anyway. That's lethal with no wins.
wait, what? No, it's 8 damage.
You get 4 Minotaurs, plus you
And
get
4 creatures.
4, 2, 3.
Four
Oh,
So that's 8 damage.
yeah, it's
Oh,
8
zero
damage. Yeah,
flip.
you're right.
Which is still a lot. But the chances of him killing everyone was high enough that it's not worth letting that resolve. Kind of curious what the red spell was, Evan.
That's just another sort of board wipe, but not board wipe sort of thing. Same mana cost, different thing. Also features Bolas in the artwork.
I thought you were gonna pick Moldite. Synergizes best with your deck.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's called Hour of Devastation, and it's from the set Hour of Devastation.
Yeah, it's a good card.
It's rather devastating.
It's
if you
neat.
will.
Yeah, it's all creatures lose indestructible until end of turn. Hour deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-Bolas planeswalker.
Would have been a pretty devastating hour.
It's true.
I'm talking about a pretty devastating hour. What's this Bolas at?
11.
11?
Yeah.
No hard feelings, right, bud?
Probably.
I'm not too incentivized to mess with his Bolas
If
because
he
if I do,
goes
it's a
low
targeted
enough
ability.
that I can't -4 him, there will be hard feelings. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, so I was going to hit him with a 4/6. Taking you back down to 7, which was his starting loyalty.
hmm
Hmm. Pat?
Yeah,
What's
what
up, bud? We're waiting on you.
Just looking at something.
Oh, thanks, Jim.
Mm-hmm. I got you, BB.
Hell yeah. I got some good ass cards. You guys got to see one of them.
I got a shit ton lance.
I'm just gonna deal with some stuff on Jim's turn. Is that cool?
Yes.
I mean, I'd rather you wait till Evan's turn
Why do you want me to wait?
because it's disrespectful to do things on my turn because I know you.
Alright, but like I was gonna deal with Pat over there.
That's fine. I can wait.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll wait. I'll do it on Evan's end step.
As long as you're not like
Lest-
ruining my things on my turn, go nuts. And if you have to ruin some of my stuff, I get it. Like if things are being threatening, just don't like let me cast a bunch of shit and then immediately rip it to pieces before it passes over to someone else. That's all I ask.
See, Jim, like putting stuff on the stack. I have mana. Gotta respond.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it. But like, I'd rather you didn't.
So, like, which of Pat's things is the scariest?
I mean, strictly speaking, all of them. But Impact Tremors is the most imminent kill us all.
Which of his creatures is the scariest?
Probably his commander.
Yeah, but he can recast.
I'm a
that.
little uncomfy with Neheb. I think Fellhide Petrifier is... It gives the other Minotaurs Death Touch, which, depending on how things are put together, becomes a little alarming. But at the same time, I don't have any blockers, so it's really not that scary to me.
He doesn't currently have trample, so it's not.
Yeah, it just ensures that it doesn't matter what you block with, it's not going to live the combat.
His stuff's big enough that it's not going to matter anyway.
You are become monkey.
Return to monkey.
Yes, return to monkey.
Because he's got Shared Animosity and Vanquisher's Banner, anything he would attack with would kill our stuff anyway.
That's fair.
But Jim, you have a fog.
That's why I said Impact Tremors is the biggest threat.
That is what it do, Jim. You're right.
There are 4 fog cards in this deck.
I think I run 3. But one's already in my grave, so.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my hand and realizing that while there's like, I don't know, good stuff in there, I might be a little bit dead in a minute.
We won't let you die, Evan.
Board, but
That's okay. That's what's... Like, I've got cool spells, but this deck only has like 10 creatures in it, and I'm kind of feeling that right now.
Jim, why you do this? Why you do this?
Why not?
Good point.
This is a fair point.
I like to let people draw cards, Tom.
Hmm.
Now I get double the mana I used this turn back when I End my turn. Love that.
That's nice.
It also means I don't have to worry about smooth braining through my fog.
That's fair.
We all get extra mana, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's how you group hug, Tom. You help everybody.
That sounds like shots fired.
Yeah.
That seems like Tom's brand of group hug is remove threats to appease the greater majority of the board.
Which the problem with that
portion
is
of
he
it,
hasn't
for
gotten rid
sure.
of impact tremors, so he's actually only helping Pat kill all of us.
Hmm.
I'm but a humble merchant.
So the manifest doesn't count as a non, or it counts as a non-token apparently.
That's not a token, it's a face down card.
Yeah.
Correct.
Interesting.
And the way Magic works is all face down cards are 2/2 colorless creatures. So it's just a face down, not a token.
No, but there is a lot of things like have Howling Mine, Temple Bell, Rites of Flourishing, Party Jace. I've got Girapor Orrery, and the other one. I just haven't hit any of it.
Yeah. Alright, so let's see what we can do. I want to find some more toys first.
I mean, impact tremors is still the most imminent threat, like, across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So I need red, black, blue.
That's a lot of mana, sir.
I forgot that all the lands tap for double, but that's fine.
You're welcome.
Oh, there we go. He took care of it. We're good.
Yay, I get to
Well,
sit here and do nothing now.
He hasn't dealt with it yet. He might. There we go.
I mean, you've still got bodies on board, and I still have no creatures.
Except I can't attack because one person has a fog, another person has something. It's probably going to toss them either in my library or my hand.
That's true.
I mean, it doesn't mean you can't attack. It's just
This you gotta take. Better rip that shit off like a band-aid and see what's there.
I do believe I specifically said see what happens.
See that I don't like.
Isn't it so Bolasy though? Look how themed it is.
It's a citadel, all right.
Yeah, it's got his name in it and everything.
You think Bolas was just a big like Egypt file?
Probably. There's a reason he picked that world.
He was like, yo, hear me out. Egypt is fucking awesome.
Those pyramids, right up my alley. That Sphinx, so gaudy. Love it.
We're in the end game now, boys.
I'm looking to see if I have anything interesting in here. I don't remember.
I don't know. I just want to not die first.
It's probably fair.
I like that plan.
Well, I don't have a win condition in this deck.
I respect that.
Pardon
I
the
like
delay.
this deck a lot. I like that I was able to do some of what this deck wants to do. Not a lot of it, some. And you guys have a feel for what it does.
I'm sad I haven't drawn any of my proliferate because I want to make Otherworld Atlas draw an entire hand every turn.
Be nice.
I guess I'll try this.
Gonna be some X cost spell. Torment of Hailfire, calling it now, boys.
Good call.
I'm dead.
Seems good.
Discard this. I'm gonna die, but I can just choose discard every time.
I've been sitting with my win condition in hand for about 3 turns. Just decided not to do anything.
Oh god, it goes through for each person one at a...
Yeah, it's a clunky thing. I've been like looking at like some interesting crap in hand and then not a whole lot of anything and playing just enough that I know it made sense to try and kill me first, so I was kind of scrambling to find something to make it not work out for people. Are you comfortable saying what your win con is, Tom, or would you like to keep it secret for the next time you play the deck?
It's gonna be a secret, for sure.
Just curious.
It is very on flavor, though. I'll say that. Not flavor for me, flavor for the deck.
Group hug?
It's not a group hug win condition, no.
It's kind of hard to have a win con whose purpose is to make other people happy, so that's fair.
Hey Jim, are you keeping that Heartbeat to Spring around?
I plan to, as long as I'm alive.
Cool.
This is really annoying how it just kind of helicopters around the entire table and makes everyone do it one at a time.
Yep. I'm also intentionally not discarding my win condition because I'd rather keep it a secret.
That's fair.
Well, it looks like Heartbeat of Spring has to go because it's that or I die.
Shit. Well then.
It'd be gone either way, I guess, so...
Exactly. So I'd rather keep my 1 life.
Oh, wait. I might just win right here.
Might. I took negative 18 damage.
The really funny thing is if Jim didn't cast Fog, he could have kept the thing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh no, he would be dead to non-combat damage.
Well, no, he could have kept your spring alive.
Oh well, no, he had the spring.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have had to sacrifice it, because he could have discarded the Fog instead.
Oh yeah.
No, because at that point I would have kept the Fog.
I don't care about that. Bite it. Although that may not have been a bad idea, but it is what it is. Probably could have gotten rid of shared animosity, actually. Now that I think about it.
So I think here's Pat's plan, right? He's gonna cast 1 Minotaur, get a copy. That's gonna deal 2 damage enough to kill Jim. They're just gonna swing at Evan.
Probably.
So unfortunately, I pitched a Fable Passage, which has been really helpful right now.
Yeah.
However,
It's a shame. Jim had us draw a
Do you have
card.
factor negation?
Yeah, Jim had us draw a card, and the card on top of my library that I could cast by paying life is a counter-target creature spell card, but it's in my hand and I'm tapped out now. Oh, wait. Never mind. As foretold lets me cast it for free.
Oh,
Nice.
well, that's cool.
So that
that's a bit
helps.
of a problem.
It's almost like I read people's cards and just try and help. Except for Pat's cards. I usually don't read his because they scare me if I read them too close.
Yeah.
Well, actually, literally, I picked the winner now. Do I give Jim the win or do I give Evan the win?
That's up to you. I've been mean this game,
Well,
so if you're...
I can only give Evan the win.
Yeah, I'm really curious how you would give me the win.
Man, that's f***ing annoying. Alright.
Explain your
Just
decision making
feel
right
like-
now for the viewers.
Next turn, I doubt it. I have nothing with haste, and I don't have direct damage dealing cards.
You can't deal 1 damage?
Probably not.
Hmm.
It's a group hug deck, dude. I can deal combat damage, and that's the only kind of damage I can deal.
Also mono green, which doesn't really play the direct damage game too much.
Even if it did, I wouldn't run it because it's against my philosophy of what group hug means.
It's fair.
I feel like
This
that's a personal attack, Jim.
So annoyingly close that Oh, I have to deal 2.
Explain your decision making for the viewers.
What, me?
Yeah.
Well, so I have Insult to Injury, Engrave, which can deal 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player or planeswalker.
Yeah.
So I could kill Jim, or I could do 2 to Evan. But Sethron can only give out 6 damage right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I can put Evan down to 1.
But then Jim would have to be able to deal 1 to make a difference.
Yep.
Or I'm alive to try and do something to you next turn. And you're at 2, which isn't a whole lot of stuff.
Yep.
That is quite the situation.
Oh, and actually I can only put Evan down to 2. Because I forgot shared animosity only triggers for other. Well, ball's in your court, Jim. Have
That's
at
fun.
it.
On the flip side, I don't have creatures. So I'm also going to have to find a way to...
Your Bolas can just steal mine. So,
But then I can hit 1 person, and then I have to survive a lap around the table against a red deck at 2 life.
I have nothing in hand.
That's fair.
Oh, well, now that's interesting. Oh, it's in legendary creature, and that's not helpful.
Man, I am trying.
No, I get it.
How about this, Pat?
I mean, I guess.
Ball's in your court.
I've got all of 2 life, dude. I don't think I'm making it. Wow, I don't even have enough for that. So I'm actually going to pitch it. For the viewers out there, that was an Ingarok's Wake, which would have been awesome if I had the land for it.
Yeah, never feels good to discard.
I feel like Ingarok's Wake is specifically for those people playing Bolas decks.
Oh, look at that, I don't have a legendary creature card in hand. And cool. That's me dead. See, Jim, I actually would have preferred you not play Iwamori there, actually.
I tried.
Scorpion God's such a cool card.
So I think I'm going to see if I can take the shortest path to what looks like victory.
I'm honestly surprised Torment of Hailfire didn't do it.
It was meant to, and then it just didn't work out that way. So I'm kind of reading the cards in hand to see if I have another, like, clever move. As I'm realizing, I can do damage to one person.
Mm-hmm.
If you happen to have a fog right now, I would appreciate it.
So, Pat, look very closely at the numbers that tell you how many cards are in hand.
As I was saying that, I did look.
So I'm just like looking at the cards in hand and realizing, like,
I'm tempted to come look, because, I mean, unless I make it to my next turn, I got nothing.
I mean, go for it. Alright, cool. So I drew...
No, you can kill both of us, Evan.
I can?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
If you swing at Pat, then you can just Bolas' Citadel me.
I have a better idea. It's basically the same thing.
Because you can kill me with combat damage too, depending on how you want to swing it, but it's easier to kill me and then...
Is Evan gonna kill himself?
Bolas's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm also in favor of you killing Pat first, because this deck pillow forks its way into second place.
Neat.
Neat.
I absolutely hate blue.
I'm sorry.
You absolutely countered the right things, but I hate blue.
I know. Yeah, blue kind of has that effect on people.
Yeah.
But you definitely countered the right things. Like, I can't even
Yeah, I mean,
be super mad about it.
if you're interested, I had a Finale of Eternity, which would let me kill 3 things and then bring back all of my dead creatures, which is like 2 creatures, and they're small.
Yeah.
Imps Mischief lets me redirect a spell. I had another Bolas Planeswalker and a Grixis Charm, but none of those do like direct damage, which is like
Yeah,
a
if
shame.
I got back to my turn, unless you could counter something, I did have win, but only if I made it back to turn.
And I didn't have a counter spell in hand. I could like change the target of a spell, but like...
Yeah. Yeah, because I could Mountains, Angrath, Pandemonium,
I don't know.
-2.
I changed the target of a spell one time, and Evan got very upset with me.
That's okay. It's okay. But it's after midnight now, so I mean, I'm happy to hang out and chat for a few, but that should probably be the final game, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for you guys to see the WingCon and that. It's a lot of fun.
It's going to be exciting. Yeah, like obviously I wanted you to keep it a secret until you get to kind of pull it on someone, because that's going to be a lot of fun. But it seems like an interesting deck, and I'm not calling you a liar, but you announced it to be group huggy, and it was not demonstrating that. So it'll be interesting to see it at the table again, both to see that side of it and to see the WingCon.
Is group huggy?
A little bit, maybe. Technically,
I mean, it draws people cards and then slits their throat with them.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I should probably go to sleep. I have work in the morning, and I don't want to do that. So.
Yeah, that's the damn truth.
Yeah.
I get to restart my computer because my email won't open.
Congratulations. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop out of the call, and then.
Oh man, your analytics for stream are actually pretty good this time around.
Well, before you hop out,
yeah,
I'm gonna just give you a sampling. Where is it? Right. So, like, this is most of the deck. No, I don't want to do it that way. Let's give you, like... There we go. Alright, I'm going to drop some of the deck list.
Okay.
And... yeah. It's like, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the deck, maybe 1/3 of the deck. I don't know.
I'm gonna keep it kind of behind closed doors for now. I'm not gonna put it on screen.
Well, I didn't. Here's the thing: the WingCon is not in there.
That's fine.
I intentionally removed it. Neither are a handful of spicy cards. But like, let's see. You know, you've got Dictative Karametra, you've got Dictative Krufix, Jace Balerin, Skullwinder, Veteran Explorer. Yeah, you know, upon second look, this really isn't a group hug deck. I'll fix that. I mean, there's like Rites of Flourishing, Kami of the Crescent Moon. So there's like 5 to 8 group huggy cards in here.
There's some stuff at least. That's fine. It's just funny because you're like, yeah, it's a little group huggy, and then it just didn't do any of that.
Yeah, so there's like 8 group hug cards in here. There's like 10 interaction/answer cards. Like destroy target such and such, exile target such and such.
Yeah.
Or just a straight up wipe of like one person's board so it doesn't slow the game down. And just things like that. But I mean, maybe I'll tweak it slightly to be a little group huggier. I think there are some changes that it would make. I think I kind of hit like that middle range of land and just kind of stalled. Not that I want to ramp harder, but you know, maybe I can help everybody that's able out. It's really nice to be able to copy things. Like if Pat wasn't playing a tribal deck, let's say he was playing that Jared Carthalion deck, you know, just copy something that's giving him the Monarch, or copy Jared, or you know, just different things like that where it wasn't a great game for things to target copy. Jim didn't really have creatures, you didn't really have creatures, and Pat was playing tribal, but there's still a really cool deck with a lot of answers in it, and I'll probably tweak it. I really liked brewing this deck, and I think I'm going to continue to play with what's in there.
That's fair. I mean, it was fun to see, and I'm always a fan of getting to see some of the extra I don't know, like the new stuff in there. That's part of the reason I put the Bolas deck together today, is just because I figured like I've run the same couple decks over the past few weeks, so having just something new to check out will be fun. It was very fun getting to see the 2 new decks from you as well. I don't think I've seen that commander from Pat either, so there was a lot of kind of just variety at the board that at least I personally am not familiar with yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think my current pace is probably going to be like try and do 1 new deck every week that I'm on stream.
Pat's decks are very terrifying if you don't run interaction.
Yeah. Pat, despite what he'll admit, has definitely made some very powerful decks as of late, so...
I mean, it's been cool to see them too.
I think it's mostly just that I have kind of hit a plateau where like all of mine are the same power level, and it is relatively medium high-ish.
I mean, I would put everything you've played in the last month at a 7 or an 8 for sure.
I think collectively we've started to reach a point where like we don't build things that aren't at least reasonably focused and capable of doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like I don't think anyway, especially since coming back and starting to stream, I don't believe I've built a deck that's just totally flubbed. Like they've at least kind of worked and just needed a little tweaking. I don't think I've seen any of you guys unveil a deck that just straight up didn't work. Like there are ones where the matchup wasn't great or where things didn't totally pan out, but like I haven't seen just a straight up flop in a long time now. And I think that just comes from all the practice we've been getting, so.
I think my 2 noteworthy flops were, I mean, Rexiel last week was a flop. I'll probably never play that deck again.
I didn't hear about that deck, so I'm curious.
And my mono red Phoenix deck is another flop.
Yeah, it like the Rexiel one didn't explode much, but I think, speaking candidly, you kind of had like this, yeah, it's like blue-black, I put more interaction in it than normal, and everyone was like, shit, and then just immediately was like on guard the whole time, so that deck might not have been the fastest paced, but then as soon as something threatening was about to happen, everyone was kind of on edge, ready to deal with it, because they were afraid of the interaction. So I don't know if it's 100% just the deck not working, or if there was like a like mindset at the table wasn't conducive to letting it do its thing either, but I would be interested to see it again. Go ahead, Pat.
Gut reaction, Demir from Tom. I know your pet cards, like, just gut reaction is like, oh dear God,
Panic.
kill it with fire.
Yeah, probably fair. But no, so like I would be interested to
fair, but
I would be interested to see it again, or at least get an idea of what else is in it if you feel like throwing the deck list out there, because like I feel like we didn't get to see what it was meant to do, at least not in full. But as I said, even that, I don't really attribute that entirely to the deck. I mean, there's always a little bit of luck of the draw, and I think atmosphere at the table just wasn't very conducive to a surprise Dimir interaction deck from the guy who's built some very nasty Dimir decks in the past. Not blaming you for that either, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a flop. It'll, if it ever comes back, it'll be a big change to it.
That's all good.
I think part of it is how you pitch a deck as well. Like, before people know what to expect, how you pitch it can really change the interaction at the table a lot.
That's probably true.
Alright, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it's about time for me to shut it down, but it has been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for coming on, and then, I don't know, next week, probably, unless something comes up.
Yep.
I think, like, with the rotation, technically, I'm the next one due to set out, so...
I'm also, and I threw this out there, while I am one of the people who'll host the stream, it's not like I feel like that should guarantee me a seat over anyone else. Since I have shown up, I've been here for every round, so if the goal is to stream every week and Marios is going to be around for one of them, I don't mind sitting out for ones where he's there as well, just to keep it fair. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to displace I keep saying that, but I just want to be really clear. Like, I don't feel like I deserve any bigger of a seat at the table than anyone else here, you know? So,
I'll say here, but you did actually say it was a group hug deck. You may not have meant to phrase it that way,
That's all good. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and shut things down now, guys. Once again, thank you for the fun games and the company.
Good night.
And we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.